What's up, everyone? How you doing? Hey, Hollywood is back, baby. I got a co-host today, Big Cell from FHO, baby. We got the Black Sabbath. We got representatives from the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. I'm telling you what, Hollywood is away. I guess everybody plays because damn, did the internet get lit up this past week. And before I go on, I just want to, let everybody know I'm going to try to be as middle of the road as I have always been. I know me and Black Dragon has had problems in the past. This ain't a video to get out at him. It's actually to try to get to the bottom of stuff. When it comes to this, there was a video out there that Black Dragon was put out bad, and there's a lot of answering since it was leaked of what happened, why, what are you talking about? He's been a member 35 years. Next thing you know, I'm hearing about pedophiles and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get into this right now.
Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces.
All right, man. We got Big Cell FHO. He was one of the originals, I believe, that broke this story. I'm kind of behind. You got to let me know what happened, why it went down, all that good stuff.
So apparently, man, there's been a lot of unanswered questions, man. And finally, I guess Black Sabbath as a nation have finally got tired and decided to just get it straight, man. And for me, anything against John Bunch is just tickles me. I love it because, again, I've been upfront about this dude for the longest. And again, I'm not going to make this a personal bash John Bunch thing, but when the story first broke, I got confirmation. I did my homework. I got the confirmation that it was true. And then I did my little segment on it. But what I told the club, Hollywood, was that you can't just drop that the way you guys dropped it and then walk away and not answer questions. So I've been trying to tell them for a couple of days now, hey, we need to get the questions answered because he's telling his side of the story and he has his followers. The man has over 200 some subscribers, over 200K or something subscribers on YouTube channel. So he has his followers and he have people that you cannot shake when it comes to him being, the person that me and you know him to be.
This is the video that was dropped, and let's see what Big Cell thinks of it.
Hey, greeting all. You know who this is. It's Ride or Die, the national president, Black Sabbath MCs. Just want to have y'all attention for a minute, man. Effective meeting, Johnny Bunch II. He's no longer associated with the Black Sabbath MC Nation. Also, there's been an investigation going on for over 10 years now, and everything began to come out. All the truth is out there. He lied to all of us, I say. Lied to a couple of people beside us. Even on the outside, he lied to them. With that being said, I'm just sitting here telling you, man, that shit that he done is not allowed, period. Even for anyone else to try to do the same shit he did. With that being said, with Dragon, man, he's no longer associated with the Black Sabbath MC Nation. He don't have our protection. He don't have any of our rights. He don't even have the privilege to do this shit. Anything that he's trying.
Now, with that, Big Cell, I was interested in hearing what you thought about that. Now, you've had a kind of a rocky path with, and I know you spoke out against club stuff. You do that in your radio show. What do you think about somebody putting that out as somebody's out bad?
I mean, So I've been watching all these different shows. I've been watching the different commentators speak on that you don't put club business out there. That's not the way to do it. But you have to understand, this is how Black Dragon would do it. Anytime he comes after you, he's going to use his platform. He's going to use social media. So for me, it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You understand what I'm saying? So, and because of his popularity and his status as far as out in the motorcycle community, they have no other way to do it but to get it established that, hey, he is no longer affiliated with us. We don't have anything to do with him. Like the guy said, no, he's not under our protection. He's not, the whole 9 yards. So I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, is that traditional or is that normal? No, it's probably not. But again, we're not talking about a normal or traditional dude. You understand what I'm saying? And we're not talking about a normal or traditional situation. You feel what I'm saying? So this is probably the best way to do it and be done with it.
Right. Now, no, what I was trying to ask is just to get it to your viewpoint, because I know that nowadays how bad could get you put out there because you pissed in the wind the wrong way. And you spoke about this in that type of sense. So I was wondering, is this as huge as everybody's making it seem?
Well, first off, the out bad probably was a bad term to use. Okay. Now he's put out a media and terminated, but out bad, that I think that might be again the wrong term to use as far as the situation. And again, we'll get into that tonight. Why was that even determined? Who or where did it come up with the out bad statement, or stuff like that? But him being put out bad, that may be a little bit overkill, but he is definitely put out and disassociated with the organization.
Right, right. Well, that's just one topic I wanted to touch on, because you see it all over the internet. Hell, you got people that say I am when I'm not, but it don't seem like how bad really means anything anymore, and it's going to the next level. I know it's happened to you, where that's been said, and I just want to establish that for everybody. That hey, how bad you get pissed in the wind, you know what I mean? Because that's what a lot of people are going to say.
Well, yeah, out bad means that you're off the bike set totally. You can't come around. You done something. When you put out bad, means that you have lost all privileges of interacting with the bike set. Even on a regular normal basis. Don't nobody want you around you. You're a complete scumbag. And again, that's why I said I don't think that's Dragon's case. I don't think that's the case for Dragon, but it is a lot of violations and stuff that he has done. But I don't think he's out bad where he can't still come around the set and enjoy the motorcycle set.
What do you think about 10 years of an investigation? That kind of struck me funny. And you know what? I'm ignorant to the black set. I'll be the first one to admit that I'm ignorant when it comes to that, because I've always been on the white set, the diamond set, on the white side. And we do, because when I seen some of this stuff, I was like, what the hell are they doing? And a lot of people are probably like that right now.
Well, so when you say
investigation, I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I think again that was a misspoke statement as well too. And again, we're going to ask them that too. I think somebody meant to just say it was a lengthy investigation. Again, I just think that was a misspoke situation.
Okay, so it was misspoke. What I'm gonna do, I just wanted to get. Usually, when I do my show, I get the co-hosts' thoughts, and then we get into everything else. But again, this is a big deal right now. Let me say hi to everybody in the comment section. You're also on Big Cell's YouTube channel, and as well as Facebook channel. So it's getting pretty big up here in the chat room. If you guys got a question you want me to shoot, go ahead and shoot that. Alabama DS says Black Sabbath isn't just for black folks. Rock on, rock on. But here we go right now. I am going to bring on, because I can only do without everything, without everybody getting across here. Let's bring on the Offset. And this is the National Sergeant at Arms, I believe.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's good with it, baby? What's happening with you?
I can't call it. What about yourself?
I see you got that beard nice and trimmed up around that joint, man.
Yeah, you gotta keep it clean, right? You gotta have it clean.
So let's just get to the hardcore stuff here. A lot of us in the biker set, we're not going to deal with chomos. We don't, most of us have kids, sisters, mothers, and there's no way in hell that any respectable club would actually have one in their ranks. But, it has come out that there's one in your Maryland chapter, and I was wondering if he's gone.
Oh yeah, of course he's gone. See, that's the thing about it. You guys ask why Black Dragon is out bad. It's because there were so many lies and so many covers up that happened that he had to be put out bad. You know, for one, the guy that was supposedly the Chomo out of Maryland, Black Dragon John Bunch, sponsored the chapter, received the guy's application with the information on it, covered it up, and let him in the fucking club, right? And then when he gets put out our fucking club, he brings it up and say, "Hey, you guys knew about it. You covered it up, and you kicked me out because I tried to do something about it." When it was the complete opposite. He brought
Well,
the
Mike, by the way, everybody, the paperwork is in the link. You can download it. Being again, I don't know the black set, but being from the white set, our sergeant at arms, our enforcers are the ones that conduct the paperwork, the background check. They hand it to the secretary treasurer, which then gets signed off by the president of the chapter. Now, was that something that was done in this incident where a SA actually did the background check on this guy? And was that information presented to Black Dragon that way?
No, so it was a complete plateau of a club. See, Dragon did a lot of things outside of MC protocol, which is the reason that we're in this predicament in the first place. I mean, I get to the whole thing if you guys want me to. But
well, let me just say this. I did my research on it as well. Okay, the fact that the guy put it in the application, you understand what I'm saying? He listed it in the application. He listed the whole offense, the whole 9 yards, and said what it was. The problem, Hollywood, comes in when, like he said, the Black Dragon brought the chapter in, and he knew this information up front. Period. He had it firsthand before the mother chapter or anybody else even knew about it. So now all of a sudden that you knew this, it's on his application to be a Black Sabbath. This stuff is in he wrote it, listed it in the whole 9 yards. Now we can debate the actual Chomo, allegation or however you want to do it. But my thing of it is that it's amazing to me how Black Dragon now has a problem with the dude that you brought in, that you brought him into the Black Sabbath family and took their money the whole 9 yards. So this was years ago when they first started the chapter. And that's facts.
Well, you just said years ago. Now, does this mean that he's been there the whole time and multiple chapters knew about it?
Yes, multiple chapters didn't know about it. We found out after the incident, and it was swiftly taken care of when it became at our level. So it was hidden from us. Like I said, Dragon did a lot of things out of protocol, meeting people on YouTube, bringing fucking clubs. That's the way he did it. The reason we're in this predicament, you ask, why was he a member? Why was he a national president? The brother literally took the club and created a club split. So he did everything outside of the mother chapter, completely changed the club, taught the new generation that the mother chapter didn't exist, even went as far and said that it moved to Atlanta. So you got a new generation of troops that come into this club thinking that's the way it is. Hey, this guy got this many followers. He was a national president, blah, 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 blah. So everybody rocked with it. Come to find out, we go back to the mother chapter, meet the real OGs, and start finding out things. And we're like, yo, he did this shit completely wrong. He created a club split. He operated outside of the mother chapter. He told people he didn't exist. And he built the club into what it's into. That shit is true. But he did it under false pretenses. That's the problem that we had.
I have a lot of people that ain't in clubs. When you're saying the mother chapter, now does that carry over to whoever holds the national office, or do you have it in your bylaws that, hey, everything runs out of the mother chapter?
See, that was the thing. At that time, it did not have any of that.
So in actuality, then he would be the national president.
No, because he was never voted in as a national president from the mother chapter. He was given a patch by a founder, which they admitted to that on his podcast, and told him, go do what you do, and changed the patch, in fact, from the mother chapter patch into a different patch, and did everything he did.
The mother chapter didn't vote him in, but did everybody else. See, that's where I'm a little confused, because NCOM, he got the same award that I did from NCOM. NCOM is made up of some of the biggest clubs in the world, and they do their background on us before we're even handed something like that, because their names are on that as the bigger clubs, the big diamonds that organized it. And he won that award. So that's where I guess I got confused by everything. Well, he must have been a national.
Well,
I don't know. Huh?
They didn't do their homework correctly.
So you're saying they didn't do their homework when they did that?
And hold on. And let me say this, Hollywood. Let me say this. Okay, what you have to understand is that Black Dragon used his social media influence to create all these other chapters. So again, like the man just said, and this is per my investigation, he actually told all of the new chapters that he brought in that the mother chapter was no longer the Atlanta was the mother chapter, and he had all authority. Now, if you are a new member coming into an organization, and Black Dragon is this big old social media entity or whoever, and he put on his facade that he's this and he's that. That's easy to believe until you actually run into an actual another member outside of the circle, because you got to understand this. They're in San Diego, the mother chapter is in San Diego, and he's all the way in Atlanta. So he's recruiting people from this way and up and above and around, but they don't even know anything about the mother chapter. They don't even know anything about the center. The guy I talked to said he was a member for 4 years or whatever before he even had a chance to go to San Diego and find out that Black Sabbath was still in existence in San Diego. He was brought in under the impression that Black Dragon, the club kind of done faded out. He took over the club. He was the national president, and everything ran through him. That was the impression that he was on, and on that premises, he became a Black Sabbath.
Okay. And I'm asking questions because, again, I'm ignorant of the Black set, and a lot of people in the chat room is going to be asking this. How long did this go on? How long was this happening where Black Dragon took the club over? Was it years? Was it months?
I can give you an exact date, but we got 5 or 6 OGs that get on this phone call and tell you the exact dates because they've been here since the 70s and the 80s.
Okay, and were any of them
came up to our level as a new generation leadership? We swiftly took care of it. That's what I can tell you.
Now, was it an actual takeover from the mother chapter? Were there votes nationwide?
As far as Black Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a national council that decided his fate from the West Coast to the East Coast.
The West Coast from the East Coast. Now, was there a trial?
He refused to stand trial. He told us he was bigger than us and he didn't have to stand trial. So he wouldn't show up to trial. We still held the trial, showed the evidence, and then decided what we were going to do. But he refused to come. So, hey.
Didn't his local chapter try to encourage him to set his name straight? Again, I don't know how it works in your guys' stuff.
Nope.
Well, you got to understand this too, though, Hollywood. His local chapter their allegiance is to him. So they're not. I would imagine that they don't care about the allegations, or they didn't even know anything about him because he's not sharing that information. He's not telling them, "Hey, they want me to stand trial for this, this, and that." I'm just speculating, but apparently everything was kept from them on that level. So therefore, it was never ever brought up to them for them to even know that he was being brought up on these charges and that they wanted him to appear.
Mm-hmm. Now, there was
it's not the first time that the guy did this kind of thing, right? You talking about at the national level or at the local level. For example, you had the Atlanta chapter that he did not create, that he lied and said he created, number one. We found that out when we talked to the founder of the club and the regional president at that time. So, okay, you got that part. Then the Atlanta chapter existed, and he got into it with the Atlanta chapter, and he created a Ronin Atlanta chapter right in the same city and told those guys, hey, Atlanta doesn't exist. So he created a whole new chapter in the same city with a different nickname. And then when they ran into each other on the set, they was like, yo, we do exist. What are you guys talking about? But that's what he did. That's what he does. And that's why we're here.
How long did that go on, though? That's what I'm just confused. Why it went on so long if that was the case?
Because of his social media influence and being the national president and having so many followers and a new generation of troops coming in again. If you were born and I told you the color blue was red, the color is red to you because that's what you were taught. So when you come into something and you're taught something, that's just what it is until you know different, right? So we didn't know any different until we went out and found out, and we did an investigation for ourselves, and we traveled and seen different things. So coming in new to something, you don't know the difference. You just know what you're told.
Does all the chapters in your club vote who comes in as a chapter, or how's that work?
Not at that time, they did not.
Quite frankly, I know it's nobody's business, but it's all over the place now. So these are the questions. So if chapters are being brought in, does the club vote as a whole to bring that chapter in?
The club votes as a whole to bring it in, but the whole club doesn't do an investigation on the club, on the chapter. That was the sponsor's responsibility. And again, Dragon was the sponsor for the chapter. And
so let me just say that. Let me say this too, not to cut you off, but it's obvious that Black Sabbath was not conducting business according to the rules and regulations that it should have been conducted business, and that's how all of this stuff kind of slid through the cracks. Is that fair to say that, hey, at some point maybe business, motorcycle MC business got relaxed and he was able to weed his way through there? Is that safe to say?
It wasn't even that motorcycle business got relaxed. It was that he was a fraud and he took over the club and made it so. So we operated the way he operated until we X'd his ass, if that makes sense.
Okay,
so
but you got to hear. But listen, what I'm saying though, bro, because what you're saying is straight. But hear what Hollywood is saying. How can this happen in an organization of this magnitude without somebody not today saying something, but saying something 5, 10, years ago, like, hey, you can't do that, or you can't. That's what I'm saying. So this is what the people are asking is, how can that happen? How can it be so that this man operate the way he operated, that this man moved the way he moved, that this man did what he did for so long without ever being questioned, or without ever being without any of this being talked about for so long? That's what we're trying to get to. How can that happen?
Especially Big Cell, that NCON gave him an award and they put their name on him. So it's not only about the Black Sabbath now.
Okay.
Well, like I told you, it didn't do their due diligence and ask the right people the right questions. And the thing hadn't came out at the time. I can answer the question of why it took so long and why it didn't happen. Now, again, we have the OGs on the line that can answer those questions for you guys. If you guys want to answer them, I can answer that question. All I can tell you is when it came up to our generation leadership, it was swiftly taken care of.
Okay. All right, we go. So people, we're gonna take that and we're gonna ask the OGs, because again, you got to understand this, brother. And Black Sabbath business is Black Sabbath business. Is out there now. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it, get some straightening. So again, the number one question that everybody wanted to know was, how in the fuck can this man perpetrate, be in public, be on social media, be out and about, receive income awards like Hollywood is saying, and this whole time he's right in front of y'all, per se, and nobody has ever checked him on this. That right there within itself is what has everybody in the uproar and what has everybody confused and fucked up. So again, I guess Hollywood will have to say that question for the OGs, because
I would, because you know what, and I'm sorry to say this to my audience, I really am. Their thoughts don't matter. What really matters are those in the scene that wear those patches, and they're sitting back like, what the hell are you doing? That's why it matters.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we need to go to. Go
ahead and pick another one. Thanks for coming on, Offset. But I will have questions to you, because again, I've been in this a while and I've heard things and stuff, and I like to address it with you since you're an essay on this. So I'll bring you back on a little bit. Let's go to old school. Sounds cool. Old school. Old school, you're on the show, buddy.
What's going on, OG? We can't hear you.
Go ahead. I got unmiked. Go ahead.
All right. How's that?
That's fine. What's going on with you? What's going on with you?
How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good. We're just trying to clear some stuff up here. So how do you feel as an OG with this all over the internet now?
Well, typically we like to stay in the background and ride the motorcycles and do our thing. And this thing is, we don't like to be out here on the spotlight like this. This is not our territory. You know, we like to be out here riding our bikes and stuff. So this is a new space for us. So hopefully we can get through this ridiculousness and get back to riding our motorcycles. That's what we like to do ultimately as Black Sabbath.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Hollywood, before we go. Who are you? How long have you been in the club? And because we need to start establishing that too. Who are you, OG? And how long have you been in the club?
All right, I'm an old school. I've been in Black Sabbath since 2008.
Okay, 2008. Okay. All right. What you got for him, Hollywood?
2008. How did you know Black Dragon?
Well, interestingly enough, see, I knew Black Dragon before I even got into Black Sabbath. Black Dragon in the early 90s, the late 90s, used to be a photographer in Atlanta. And he had the motorcycle magazine. And that's how I met him, through that. I used to do a motorcycle video myself back in the day. And then I met him doing that. And that was through the early 2000s, 2003, 4, 5. And it was around 2007 to 8 when he approached me as far as being a part of the organization. So I knew him for years. And so, but I got into 08. That's how I met him.
So
he was a member then.
He never mentioned before. He never mentioned Black Sabbath like that. It was more Black Dragon, Biker, News. He had whatever the magazine. I can't remember the name of the magazine. It was more representing that. It was not a representation of Black Sabbath like that. No, he was not big Black Dragon like you see today on podcasts and all that. It wasn't the same guy. He was a photographer, had a magazine, did models and model shoots with models and on bikes and stuff.
Yeah, but what I'm asking, was he a member back then?
Well, he was what do you call as a member? As you saw on the podcast in 99, 2000, just on the other day, Pep actually admitted to it that he actually gave him the patch. The deal was that he was around and he did things for the club and organization, but you know, like everybody, the protocol is you got to get unanimous vote from all the members. And he could never get that unanimous vote for one reason or another. And they could speak more on that as they get on the show. But ultimately, Pep took it upon himself to give him that patch. And he didn't even get any pictures or nothing like that to celebrate. Soon afterwards, he got that patch. He left out of town and started a whole new narrative. So that's how he got in the club. If it would have been up to the traditional way, he wouldn't have never been in the club. But ultimately, Pep, feeling some kind of way, gave him the patch. So we can't go back in time. If you come into the club as a new organization, if you don't know that story, you go with the story that you were given, like Offset was saying earlier. So it's like, how did he get in the club? You guys got it all twisted. That's how we got in the club. He was given the patch. That's how we got in the club. But after you're in the club, it's difficult to put somebody out the club after you already got a patch. Then it's like, okay, here we go on this whole epic journey that we were talking about today.
But let me ask you this. Hear what I'm saying. Okay. At the time when you decided to join Black Sabbath, okay, you met John Bunch, you had known him for a couple of years, and you as a person decided to join Black Sabbath. Did you know anything about the San Diego chapter or any other chapter? Or did you know anything about the additional founders or any of that? Or you just joined based on it being Black Dragon and him being a member of Black Sabbath?
Honestly, yeah. When I started off in Atlanta chapter, and he told us that the mother chapter was dead. Don't fuck with them. They don't mean any well for us. They're not going to work with you. All you're going to do is get trouble and headache. We're working with the mother chapter. So with that type, if you're coming into the organization and that's what you're being fed, then are you going to go reach out on your own and do your own? I mean, we probably should have, but a lot of people was like, well, damn, that's kind of fucked up on them. Now, the change is after some years, when you're in the organization, you get out on tours and you start getting around the country and you start meeting others, then you start to know some things and you start to grow and say, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So I've been out to the mother chapter twice on tours, on Iron, just this past year. So when you get out there and meet OGs and actually get a dinner and some lunch with them and you get to find out things that you never even knew about, it's like one of those aha, like, oh shit, aha, oh, I didn't know that. And then you find out all kind of things that are it's ridiculous. But ultimately, you can't go back in time. We just try to make things right as we move forward.
Yeah. So Well, yeah, it's about moving forward with everything. Because again, you guys are a part of that stuff. But in 2008, he was a member. Regardless of how he got it, I know Pep was a founder of it. Usually, a founder don't patch whatever they want. But what I found interesting is you said that everybody is supposed to vote him in. But at the same time, isn't that the truth when somebody tries to vote him out?
But listen though, Hollywood. I think Hollywood. You're what I think you're missing, Hollywood.
I'm going by the white set, man.
And I know, and this is what I'm saying. Okay, but what I think you're missing, Hollywood, is that he put on such a facade and such a show of who he was and the authority that he had of the organization that like this guy that he just brought in, when he brought him in, he was under the impression that Black Dragon was acting with full authority, with full permission, and with full honors from the original Black Sabbath, even to the point where he told them as members, hey, we don't even fuck with the mother chapter. They dead. They're not going to help us. We're not worried about it. We're just going to do us. But as he found out in his journeys and started motorcycling, then that's when he finds out, he meets the other Black Sabbaths and understands this and this and that. So again, what we're going to have to do, Hollywood, we're going to have to talk to the people from OGs from the San Diego chapter to find out.
What I'm doing, I want to give everybody a chance to, say their piece and stuff like that. But right now, what it sounds like, it's like actually, if you're into rap and stuff, East Coast, West Coast, it seems like there's a power struggle.
No power struggle. Let me tell you like this. This is what it is. What it is that that's what he wanted to have. The way it works is some people want to be a dictatorship if they can be the boss. And he's the type of personality, that's what he wants. Now, what we're aiming to get in Black Sabbath is more like a constitutional republic where no one man is bigger than the organization. And that's one of the things that if we truly unite between the mother chapter and what we call the nation, that power and influence will be diminished. So what's happened is he's been able to have his cadre of folks that rock with him. And anytime you try to go against putting them out or any type of discipline is always met with subterfuge and backdoor calls and all kind of wild shit. And it's like a parasite or like a cancer. It has infused itself in the body. And we've been trying to do what we can to get it out. And it's just been a hell of an extraction process. So, I mean, the dude, you talk about how he get in, he's charismatic. You know what I mean? It's like, it's almost like, fuck, it's like, imagine this. His character off camera is so appalling. Imagine if a snake oil salesman, a prophet preacher, a corrupt politician, and an ambulance chasing lawyer had a baby. It would be the amalgamation of what you used to call Black Dragon. The dude is just ridiculous, man, what he's done. He speaks not on brotherhood. He talks a lot about treat your brothers like solid pieces of gold. If he actually believed that, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I don't even know how else to tell you that, Hollywood. I mean, dude, but it's like he's all good with you as long as you, A, doing what he wants you to do. The problems come in is B, when you check him on his bullshit, or C, tell him you can't, we don't do it like that. And then it becomes like a tantrum, like a 12-year-old. So it's just, it's interesting, man, because like I said, he has followers. He's got 200,000 people. He's like all these awards and stuff, and people think that he's right. But just like any type of televangelist, preacher, something like that, there's always the off-camera personality that the people on camera don't know about. And that's what we're trying to tell you guys now. Has he done some good things with Black Sabbath? Sure. But overall, his character is flawed. And it is, I'm not going to miss him, to be honest with you. Take the followers and go off and do what you want to do. Just leave us alone. How about that? You know, no more slick videos, all that other crazy stuff. Leave it alone, man. You know what you done wrong. We ain't trying to put all your business out here in the street. But, dog, you know what you done wrong. You know you've been filthy and slimy, slinking around and doing all this grimy stuff. Have we caught him? Has he been put out on paper? No. Some people got records. Some people got government records and whatnot. Does he have a government record? Maybe not. I don't know. Well, ultimately, with the stuff he's done, he should be on record for it. Shit, I mean, it's crazy. I ain't got time to go into detail all of it, but my goodness, there's probably a list of people as long as my arm who would go off camera and talk about this guy and the dirty deeds he's done and all the wild shit he's put out there. But ultimately, it caught up to him within the organization, and he's out bad. You want to change the terms? That's fine. Okay, fine. Change them. We don't want him back. If somebody else wants him, you can have him. We don't want him. I say that. So, any other questions?
Yeah, I got one more before I let you go. That way we can get to the OGs, as you call it. You known him since 2008. Why hold back almost 20-something years of what you just said and not address it internally? It
has been addressed internally. It has been addressed internally. Like I told you, he's got a cadre of folks that can throw monkey wrenches in the works. You know how this goes. You're in the MCs. It only takes a few people. If you want to try to put up charge of somebody, you got to get a unanimous vote. All it takes is one person like, nope, I ain't with it. And shit happens. It gets tossed out. So things happen. It gets away. So what do? It's wild, man. I tell you.
Well, and I'm gonna just say this, because you got to understand, Hollywood, what's going on is that this is one of the issues with the MC set today, and it's probably a black MC set thing. I don't want to label it to that, but one of the things is you have people just excited to join a club. They don't do the homework. They don't do the research. They come into a chat. They meet you at the local bar, and they ask you, "Hey, how do you join the club?" And whatever story that you tell them of who you are and your role and your responsibility, that's really all they have to know. It takes individuals like me, like you, Hollywood, that say, wait a minute, we already kind of have a grassroots thing of what it is, but we go far and beyond, and we do our own investigation and our own research. And apparently it's seeming like it's all, I want to say it's almost like the Jim Jones. Black Dragon had everybody drinking the juice. But more importantly, Hollywood, I want to break it down like this. It's almost like a person was adopted, a baby was adopted into the family. Okay, you adopt a baby. The baby thinks that this is his mother and father, because that's what they're being told all their life. And then when they finally, like they finally grow up and venture out, and then they realize that, hey, you're not my mother and father. And then you lied to me, and I think that's what's really going on with this situation. A lot of the members that came on with the knowledge of Black Dragon, or came through Black Dragon, never investigated never investigated who they were joining, what they became a part of. They just drunk they drunk the Kool-Aid. And now that they've gotten out and traveled, and now that all this stuff that hit the fan, now they're finding out, well, wait a minute, you said this, and you said this person didn't do this, and this person didn't exist here. And now they're finding out, and it's a terrible thing. One of the things I love about what you said, Hollywood, is that hands down, it's fucked up for this business to be out here like this, period. For the whole club, Black Sabbath, they definitely are going to have to do some rebuilding. We're going to hope that time will pass by and they can get back to being Black Sabbath and get back to motorcycling without all of the questions and without all of the drama and the peace. But as of right now, it just is what it is, and we're just at a fork in the road where they done found out the truth, and we got to deal with it.
All right, old school. I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to bring on one of the old G's, and later on, we got another guest coming. I think one of the things that upsets me the most is everybody knows I'm a huge supporter of NCOM, all the big one percenter clubs. I believe in what they do. And it's really trying, and it's hard on me right now to believe that men of those statures were fooled. So I think that's why I'm working through this right now.
They were fooled. They were fooled. If you want to go on, I'll say this and you can let me go. If you want to go on the on-camera guy that he portrays himself to be, he's fucking awesome. But if you're talking about MC brotherhood, like true brotherhood guys, nah, flawed beyond repair, bro. But if you want to talk about an online personality, shit, he'll sell you ice to an Eskimo, man, and all kind of shit, bro. I'm telling you. But it's flawed. So yeah, he got the awards. I don't doubt he got the awards, but he won't get no awards in Black Sabbath. I can tell you that much. Anyway, I'm done talking about it. I love you guys for having us on, letting us say our piece. Thank you.
All right, and let me get to the next one right now. Sugarman. I can't. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute him. I think he's muted. You there, Sugarman?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, state your name, Sugar Man. I mean, who are you? How long you been in the club? The whole 9 yards.
My name is Sugar Man. I've been a member of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club for 52 years, going on 53 years. In 75, I lived in San Diego, right there with the original 7.
Okay. So you're part of the original 7. Are you part?
I organized the first chapter of Black Sabbath in Wichita, Kansas in 1988.
Okay. So, Black Dragon, where we at? What we got going on? What's going on?
Well, Black Dragon, I didn't know anything about him until I was in Oklahoma City, and I seen him with the big patch on. And Pep, Pause, and Magic called me and said they was going to make him appoint him as the national president. And I didn't know him. I said, okay, fine. So I went up to Oakland. I met him, and I liked the patch at first, but then the mother chapter, wasn't going with it. And he started talking to me about the mother child. I said, wait a minute, you can't talk about the mother child because I know all the original 7s. I was there when it started. I lived in San Diego. So you can't talk to me about it. So I was made council president. Hogman was made the national vice president. He got rid of me as a council president, took my position, and made me the council president, and took Hogman's position as a national vice president, and said he didn't want nobody telling him what to do. So Bunch is a piece of shit. I'm not saying that just because he took my position, but I've been on the set. I'm the one he put in the book for I Come to Race. I'm the race of the club. I'm well known around the motorcycle club, around the motorcycle world as Sugar Man.
So were you around with Pip?
Yeah, I knew Pep. I was the only one who could go in Pep's house and get him out the house because his wife and my wife were best friends.
Okay, and how was it taken by, say, you originals that he gave the national presidency to Black Dragon?
Pep did that on his own. They called me here I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I've been here since 06. Pep called me, and him, Magic, and Pause was on the phone, first female president of Black Sabbath, and said they were going to make Black Dragon the national president. So I said, who is the national president? So I talked to Sweet Tea out there in San Diego. Sweet Tea filled me into everything. He said Black Dragon never prospect. He never stood duty or anything. Time to stand duty, he come in the club with 2 women on his arm. And all of a sudden he left Atlanta. He wasn't no full member. He wasn't even a prospect when he left San Diego.
Well, so the point where Pep said he gave him his patch, or you guys voted him in, that's not true?
No, I didn't vote nothing in. I just said, hey, Pep was the founder, do what you want to do, but I'm going to check him out. He said, okay. So I checked him out. And once I checked him out, I thought he was all right dude, but then all of a sudden, he will stab you. He will say something to your face and turn around and stab you in the back in a minute.
Yeah.
And I'll put everything out there, and I don't care if he know it or not. He already know me. He don't want to mess with me.
Yeah.
So he was made national president, and you guys at that point accepted it without any pushback, or how did it go?
Other chapters didn't really accept it. Trinidad, I wish he was on this line. Trinidad is next under me, 50 years with the club. Trinidad never cared for him. I never cared for him.
But when you said do what you want to do, was that a yes?
I just told him, I just said, do what you want to do. Pep said, well, we're going to appoint him national president. I said, okay, Pep's the founder. I wasn't one of the original 7, so I didn't have no say-so. He wasn't voted in by the mother chapter. He was appointed.
So at that point, he was national president, and in your bylaws, you didn't have that the national had to be within the mother chapter, so he was able to take the national presidency with him where he went to build, yes?
Yes, he was. And he changed the bylaws and wrote everything in there with his name at the end by order of John Bunch.
Yeah, I got that paper. I got the paperwork where he rewrote the bylaws saying that he owns the patches. He owns all of the patches and everything of Black Sabbath.
Yeah, but he don't.
Ain't there different patches between the mother chapter and the rest of Black Sabbath?
He came out with a big patch. And the mother chapter, we got a little bitty patch. I still have my original patches. So everybody finally decided after years and went back to the original patch of the mother chapter.
Yeah, but I think Black Dragon had he implemented a white border around his. Hollywood.
Right. And the original patch just got a black ring around it, no white ring at all.
How do you feel as an old timer having this everywhere?
Well, I really feel, I mean, Black Sabbath, that's my home. I've been asked to go to outlaw clubs, Hell's Lovers, and other outlaw clubs myself. And I said, no, I'm Black Sabbath, and I'm Black Sabbath for life. But they say, we respect you, Sugar Man, because you're OG, and you've never been out of line with anybody. Even the outlaws and the rest of the clubs, the outlaw clubs. They all know. Mongols knew me in San Diego.
Okay.
I get
Well,
along.
I don't want to bring any other clubs in this right now. Just,
Right, well,
yeah.
Everybody.
Okay. I just want to be able to get to everybody and let them speak their piece, because that's what this platform's for, to everybody get a chance to talk. But I'll be bringing on the next one in a second here. I do want to say, Big Sal, what do you think so far?
Again, Hollywood, for you, it's going to be different. And I was reading one of the comments. One of the people say, "Sal, you're not other than anyway, that I'm not bringing no validity to the situation." But what I'm telling you is, again, what it is the man. It's just like a person that moves from your hometown and you move to a small country, or a small city, and you give them the story of who you used to be or who you was, and people buy into that, because that's just where we are now, where anybody can be whoever they want to be. And apparently that's what, to me, apparently it seems like that's what Black Dragon did. He moved to Atlanta and sold the dream of being of making himself this big person, this huge figure, the whole 9 yards. And then when he got the social media platform, that just kind of sealed the deal. Now,
but at the same time, Sugar Man said to Pep, make him national president.
Well,
and they didn't have national bylaws saying that it had to stay within the mother chapter. So by all rights, he did have the opportunity to go grow that club as he wanted as a national P, because they had no bylaws stating otherwise.
Well, you got to understand this too. You got a bunch of OGs. They're motorcycling the way that they were motorcycling back then. And again, not to say that the black side is not as effective as the white side, or vice versa. What I'm telling you is, you had a bunch of old guys who were just happy to motorcycle. They never got into the bylaws, the structures, the constitutions, and the whole 9 yards. Even now today, Hollywood, on the black set, it is not that serious as you guys probably have it on that side with paperwork and the whole 9 yards structure and this and this and that. So now
our bylaws are everything. That's what keeps the club together.
Yeah. So, but it's a lot of clubs out here right now that don't have bylaws, and that's facts. There's a lot of clubs out here now that don't even have never read the bylaws. But I said that to say this. So here it is now. You have a gentleman who has now taken the club and made it famous by his social media impact and the whole 9 yards. So it's easy for Pep or whoever else, the OGs, to say, well, hey man, we got a guy Dragon that's doing this thing. We might well give him since you don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. We might as well give him the reins. And with that, they're not paying attention to all of the deviousness of what he's doing with the wordplay. Like I said, I can read you I got a copy of the bylaws that they have to sign, and in the bylaws it says he owns the patches, he owns the Black Sabbath. So that's crazy.
Well, you know what's crazy is not that, but that you actually got a copy if you're not in the club. Wow.
Period.
Yeah, I'm just getting starlit here, man. Because one thing I was gonna come out and say when I first saw everything was, there's no damn way I would be part of any damn club that keeps notes. I'd be too busy freaking out if Rico was gonna hit my ass.
Yeah.
It's different in as they say, a 99%er club. We don't do it like that, but it's different. But let me get another Black Sabbath on. Then we got 2 other guests that want to come on to the show, What's up? Damn, man, you got corn up in the background.
What's up with it, gentlemen? What it do? What it do? You on mic? Did you unmute him, Hollywood?
Yeah, I unmuted them, didn't I?
Can you guys hear us?
Oh my God! Yeah. Hey, wait.
There you go. There you go. We got you loud and clear now.
You guys having a corn roast out there, man?
Okay, I'm Magic George. I brought John Bunch down to the fucking club. I'm a retired master, United States Navy. We had a coup d'etat. See, you guys keep talking back and forth. What happened? John put a hit on me. These guys back here, my brothers, but they don't want me to tell you the whole thing because it ain't all of y'all business.
Period.
Are y'all trying?
Well, the problem with that statement is the club made it to business when it was leaked.
Oh, wait a minute. You keep running this shit like this is a democracy. This is a brotherhood. That motherfucker forged his paperwork. Pep helped.
What do you mean what do you mean? See, now you're jumping at me, dude, and your club is the one who put this shit out there. You put it out there for everybody else to see.
Wait a minute. You guys are running with John Bunch's bullshit, but this shit is not about some pedophiles in Maryland. This shit started in 1989. Now you got some questions. You asked me how John got to be where he is.
Go ahead, OG.
I'm
Go
the
ahead.
enforcer.
Go ahead.
That motherfucker had one of our boys killed. Okay. Now this is going to end today. He's 86.
Well,
it ain't nothing about out. 86 means 86 is an old school term means he's not wanted. You guys love this man. You guys love this man. You recruit him. You keep him. He built a nation. No, he didn't build a nation. He stole from us and went to the fucking East Coast. I've been back there 3 times to correct this shit. But every time I do, he surrounds me with other motherfuckers that's going to fuck me up, and I'm by myself. He tried to kill out our mother chapter. That's right. Gone. He's absolutely gone. His time has run out. We had our own newspaper. He lost his mind after we produced Biker Boys. Now I'm gonna step back and let the other brothers talk, but John's gone.
Well, you said this has been going on since 1989. Why has it been going on that long?
Yeah, 89 because he convinced Paul Perry that after we made the fucking movie Biker Boys, that him and John would start our growth. You heard John say he took a mom and pop club. So that means he stole from us. He went across the country, changed the bylaws, changed the patch, and called it a fucking nation. This is a motorcycle club. It ain't a nation. Each club is from our patch are autonomous amongst themselves. And we work on brotherhood. You lie, you gone. If it takes 30 years to find out, if it takes 10 years to find out. Thank God these young brothers had some women that kept the club going. Because that motherfucker fucked us up real bad. And sometimes it takes a long time to kill a snake. The snake is gone, okay, fellas?
There it is there. Let's go.
But
you're breaking up real bad.
I got you loud and clear, OG. I have no problem with nothing you said. It is what it is. Fuck them. You understand me? Who next?
Who's next? Yes, Fred, I'm going right here. I ain't leaving, but I'll let everybody take it.
Hey, we're gonna bring in a special guest right now. I could hardly hear him.
Okay, yeah.
We had a couple of 1%ers wanted to come on. Big Bone is on right now. You've been covering this as well. Go for it, man.
Yeah, man. So
I need some cigarettes.
The way I feel about this, and it's pretty interesting. So first of all, what I got is it feels like the cover up is always worse than the crime, right? Because I'm hearing all of this stuff, and it's good to actually finally hear from some of these Black Sabbath folks now. When everybody and their mother was getting these text messages, anonymous, and all this kind of stuff, and these secret phone calls, and all this kind of jazz that was going on. And I don't care who you are or what side of the fence you're on. There's something very questionable about anybody sending out club information to all these different content creators and everything else. And I know that some folks was real quick to jump on it for whatever reason, you know, they like the guy, they hate the guy, whichever. But of course, the first people to jump on board was people that hated the guy. I'm talking about that hated doggone Black Dragon. Now, the thing is this, is that if you're, and this is just my opinion, but the way I do it is like this. I'm pushing on my channel. I don't care about the number of subscribers and all this kind of stuff. I'm interested in putting out good content about the culture, the history, the tradition, the protocol, right? That's what's important to me. And the first thing is that if somebody's pushing information from within their club, my first question is, well, you know, you're not really supposed to be doing that. Second question is, well, why would you do that? Why would you? And of course, here's the irony of this thing. You're going to push information to a content creator while at the same exact time you're talking about and complaining about, oh, this dude is on YouTube talking about this, that, and the other thing. They're talking about this thing, that thing, the other thing on the internet, whilst you're asking me to push information on the internet. That's kind of, I mean, that's kind of fucking ridiculous, first of all. So I got this information and I sat on it. And I was going to sit on it because there was too many things in that first group of documents that just didn't make any damn sense. I don't care who you are. You can splice it and dice it. No matter how thin you slice a piece of bread, it's still got two sides to it. So when you tell me,
you know what? I'm so glad you brought that up, Big Bone, and sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
But as a member of the COC, don't you think this is what clubs need to do when, you know, because they're getting bombarded with news stories from the media and never get their side of the story out? Well, isn't this something that should be going on?
So I share the opinion. So first of all, I'm a member of the COC, but a few other things. I'm actually the chairman of the COC for this middle part of Florida. I'm also, as the COCs relate, you know, the COCs nationally speaking, stand by. So on a national basis, when you put all the COCs together, you have something called NCOM. So NCOM, I'm a member of NCOM. I'm a board member of NCOM. I'm the regional director for Region 6, which is North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi. I'm supposed to know that shit by heart. But I'm the regional for NCOM and a few other things, right? I wear a lot of different hats. I interact with a lot of motorcycle clubs every freaking day. 1%er clubs, 99 clubs, motorcycle ministries, you name it, I'm dealing with them. And I mean 7 days a week. So chances are I kind of sort of might know what the fuck I'm talking about a lot of things. So as it relates to clubs and some shit goes down that hits the news, there should always be, and based on your club, you should have a individual who needs to address, you know, the powers that be, sometimes the public, sometimes it might be somebody needs to talk to the authorities. That might be your lawyer, or that might be your chapter president, or that might be some well-spoken, squared away brother who knows how to talk to them. And that's based on what type of club you're in. And, you know, so there's a few things. One, what type of club you're in. And two, most importantly, the bylaws, the rules of your club. But it's of my opinion that the narrative about motorcycle clubs being, you know, we're painted, all of us are painted with a certain brush that says that all of us are jacked up, fucked up. We're a bunch of wild killers and, you know, all kinds of bad stuff. So somebody at some point has got to do a better job putting out our own narrative, saying who we are, as opposed to being told who we are and letting the public think who we are because they saw freaking Biker Boys 100 years ago, or they saw Sons of Anarchy 2 weeks ago, or whatever it is, right? Those narratives that are pushed on us and about us need to be corrected sometimes. So somebody's got to do that. That's why what you do in this moto vlogging, or however you want to call it, with you know, with bikers talking about bike shit, I'm okay with that for the most part, in theory, as long as it is for the goal ultimately of creating a better narrative of who bikers are. This shit going on right now with Black Dragon is the exact opposite of that. This is not painting a better picture of who we are as bikers. this is like some this is like Days of Our Lives MC edition, right? It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit on a lot of different levels. I'll go back to the beginning of it, and the beginning of it is, so first of all, whoever started sending me that information, we found out who it was. You know, all these different phone calls and all these different text messages, and I got people on the phone who won't say who they are, and you know, you got a couple of guys who are saying who they are after the fact. Now, when I wanted to talk to Black Sabbath, somebody from who felt, man, doggone Black Dragon is a bad guy, or he's this or he's that, or they're co-signing whatever these damn bullshit letters was. When I wanted to talk to those folks, they was nowhere to be found. Somebody was throwing rocks and hiding their hands. After I did that first show, well, the first cat who I called by name, he popped up. You know, he called me. That was what you call it, Devil. So Devil called me while I was doing the show. I didn't even realize it was him that was called. I saw the text message later. I was in post. I'm like, okay, hey, let's talk about this later. He said, so he sent me a text the next morning saying, hey, you know, take that video down until I talk to you. If you still want to run the keep that show up after that, then so be it. So I said, okay.
I just want to say, Bone, we will give the OGs a chance to come back on, but go ahead.
Okay. But so long story short, you know, I hear from this dude, Devil. He wanted me to take the thing down, which I wasn't going to do that, but he said, you know, talk to him. So I'm open for that. Of course, he disappears. He said that you know, he's not in the club no more, and the pedophile's not in the club no more. But funny enough, I got people, which I shouldn't know this, that, hey, they're still in all the chat rooms and everything else. There is so much information going on about this club. This shit is insane. The only reason that I even got in any of this at all is because, A, they asked me to, and kept asking and kept sending this information, all like that. And then I'm hearing from other folks who are not even for the purposes of defending Black Dragon, but for pointing out, hey, I got dragged into this too. Hey, they came after me too. And everybody I'm hearing from is telling me pedophile, pedophile, pedophile. In some cases, as far as I can tell, these are folks that didn't really even know each other. They're in the same club in different states singing the same song. Now, after this information comes out, then all of a sudden, we're hearing from a lot of different folks, and I understand there's this civil war going on within this club. And hey, got it. It's a civil war that should stay within the doggone club, but it's just too much bullshit that doesn't make any damn sense. So the accusations, so let's just talk you know, let me explain this. Like I would say, talk to me like I'm a 3-year-old, like break this shit down for me. You're going to tell me that he's not in the club, but he was the national president. He wasn't a national president, but we just heard one of the founders explain exactly how it was that he became, in his opinion, and based on what he said. I got no reason to argue with him, but I heard Pep say something a little different. But he says, hey, the national president said, or the founder, whomever it was, says that, hey, you're the national president, and they rocked with it. And he went ahead and he set up chapters all over the place. Now they say, oh, those chapters don't count. So all of the stuff that's being said just doesn't make any damn sense. One of the things was, well, he didn't prospect the right way. As far as in a real club, and I don't give a damn white side, black side, because guess what? A lot of the shit on the white side is the same exact on the black side, which is if a motherfucker gets voted into the club, 9 times out of 10, A, he's not there. He don't have no say-so as to whether or not he comes into my club or your club or whoever's club, because he's a damn prospect. So that probate is probably outside sweeping grass or doing whatever the fuck they told him to do while the meeting's going on. Whomever made the decision that he's a member, that has nothing to do with that individual. They're told, here's your patch, put it on, or here's your vest, put it on. And what you gonna do if you've been a prospect for 5 minutes or 50 fucking years? If that's what you've been working for and they say you're a member now, you're going to just join and become a member. So somebody trying to tell me he didn't join the right way, wasn't prospect the right way, that's bullshit. And we all know that. Now, let's just, you know, just keep it a buck. So that's some bullshit. So the problem is with most lies or most bullshit is just salt and pepper bullshit with some truth. So it's palatable. Right. And that sounds like what is happening here. I don't have no crystal ball, but I've been on the set for a really long time. And I can tell you on the black side, just to get this part real clear, I don't know about everywhere or where anybody's from, but I can tell you that Bylaws are extremely important on this side of the fence. You know, I don't want anybody to think that that shit is true, that somehow we're just lackadaisical, just, you know, just party and drinking some 40 ounces or whatever the fuck, and bylaws aren't a thing. Bylaws are a thing on the black side, and that's a fact.
Hold on, let me am I here? Here. Let me just say this, man. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm almost willing to bet you 70 to 80% of the clubs here don't give a fuck about bylaws. They don't even know the bylaws. They don't even have bylaws. They may have some shit that was originally created for them in the beginning when the club was created, and that shit is somewhere in whatever. You got members joining clubs here and have never even read the bylaws. So what I'm saying is this. I listened to what you said. The reason why it's believable is because Black Dragon has sold all of us a dream before. Me, Hollywood, the whole 9 yards. The same dream he sold us, he turned around and stabbed us in the back. Now, not making it personal, but what I'm telling you is this, is that a lot of these cats that are coming up are not OGs like you and me, where we do the research. We don't just join something and don't do the research and don't do the background checks and all of this because we're associating ourselves with these people. Today's MC is I met you at the bar, I asked you how to join, you brought me to the club, 2 months later I'm fully patched and I'm doing my thing. Don't know no history, don't have no clue of who was, what we're, only thing you know is what you're being told. And I can understand when these members are saying, hey, because of who Black Dragon made himself to be, because he was on the internet, the whole 9 yards, hell, we believed him. We didn't have no choice to believe him until we started getting our ass out there and we started running into these other chapters, these other Black Sabbath, and now we're starting to find the truth. This shit happens every day. So that's the part that what I'm saying is believable. And again, like you said, all of their business is out. I got the paperwork. The bylaws, when he rewrote the bylaws, making himself the owner of the patches, which is fucking crazy.
So here's the thing.
And well, by the way, guys, I'm going to let Big Cell answer that. We do have the Black Sabbath later on coming on again, the OGs. But go ahead, BG. Or
Big Bone. Yeah, right on. But so my thing is like this: if he did, he did. If he didn't, he didn't. As far as if he put his name on a document that said the patches belong to the national president and said the national president, friggin'
John
Black Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if he said that, which sounds like he might have, because I don't imagine that you would lie about a document that you have in your possession, which, by the way, you know, and I know you ain't supposed to have that. Period. But you got it. But you didn't send it to your damn self. Somebody sent it to you.
Period.
Is that? But the second thing is this, though, is that if the national president said that those patches belong to me, and it's the national president that's saying so fucking what? That does not denote him being guilty of something else. It denotes him being guilty of being possibly a narcissist or some of that look at me shit, or I'm
Jim Jones.
No, I'm not going with that Jim Jones bullshit, because here's the thing. I have not met a national president yet that didn't have himself in a position where, by virtue of being a national president, guess what? You have to tell people what to do. You have to make decisions, and that's part of the deal. If you're the national president, you get to say, here's what the fuck it is. And everybody else can either get with the program or get the fuck on, because that's why you have a national president. It's on some level, a national president. It's not being the secretary in your chapter. It's not a probie. It's not a region. It's the national motherfucking president. And he got voted in or put in or whatever for somebody had some confidence, and it doesn't matter. So here's the thing. When you say he sold a bill of goods to this one, that one, and the other one, that's what politicians do. And guess what? A national president is a political position. You can spin it however you want to. But at that level of it, it becomes politics. And unfortunately, MCs, for as long as there have been MCs, there's been people whenever you put people in positions and an organized structure, politics are going to start. You can call it by whatever name you want to call it. War, as a very smart man said, that war is politics by other means. When we can't talk anymore, well, we still have an issue to settle. So that's when war happens. So war is politics by other means. So in a club, when you got a mother chapter and these guys over here, however you splice it and dice it, guess what? Somebody referred to it as a civil war. I was told, well, one of these cats who was against Black Dragon said, man, we got a civil war going on in the club. So what is a civil war? Again, politics by other means. Somebody don't agree with this side and that side disagree. And by the way, please understand, there are two sides, because all these motherfuckers calling me, telling me that doggone Black Dragon is walking on water. And then I got a bunch of other motherfuckers saying that he's the dirtiest so-and-so ever since North America. Guess what? Those are opinions of people in the club. And none of that shit should be legislated on the fucking internet. But it is because of the fact that somebody who is against John Bunch went through great lengths to try to smear his name. And look, you might be right. I know you don't like the guy, but that's neither here nor there. You liking somebody and them being able to do their job properly is two different things. I know for a fact when I came on the set, there wasn't that many, was not that much Black Sabbath out there. And I know over the years, I watched this motherfucker go from one state to another state with damn Black Sabbath chapters popping up. At one point, seemed like every 20 fucking minutes. I'm like, damn, what the hell is up with these dudes? So much so years ago, I was thinking, shit, I ought to get a hold of some of these motherfuckers and start patching them over. And that was years ago.
Hey, Bone.
Yeah.
Can you? I'm not gonna cut you off. I'm gonna bring you back on, but I got to get one of them on too.
Yeah, no, please do.
Okay, hold on. Let me get them on real quick. I got to give everybody a chance here. Trying to keep it organized. If you guys are just joining us right now, we got the Black Sabbath MC sets the record straight on Black Dragon. There's been a lot of stuff going on around the internet right now. If you listen to this January, you'll know that, or either that you're in Alaska or somewhere with no internet. But the Black Sabbath is guest on today's show, and we're getting opinions from everybody. But let's hear them out. Go ahead. Who are we talking to?
Post. Okay, are you guys listening?
Yes, sir.
Your face.
You got to get closer. I can't hear them.
Can you see me?
Yes, sir. We good. Let's go.
All right, this is Trinidad. Black
What's
Sabbath.
the name again?
Trinidad.
Trinidad. Okay.
Brother chapter. Now, we sit here and listen to all this junk you guys been talking. You ain't said nothing really. All you're doing is flapping your mouth trying to get airtime. But if you want to know the truth about the Black Sabbath Mother chapter, call the Black Sabbath Mother chapter. You guys getting hearsay from everybody around you that ain't been around long enough to change their diapers yet. Okay? Most of you guys out there, the Black Sabbath Nation, but they call it that, right? They ain't got years under their belt. What do they know? What do they know? They don't know nothing. As far as Black Dragon was never voted into the Black Sabbath. Never voted into the Black Sabbath. Okay? So any conversation you having now doesn't pertain to none of that shit.
Pretty much irrelevant.
Just kill it all because it's not true. All right? There's only two people know why Black Dragon came into the Black Sabbath. That's Black Dragon and Paul Perry. Now, if you want to hear the truth, ask the Mother chapter. And as far as that shit you guys talk about, he owns the patches. He don't own nothing.
You don't know shit.
He don't own no shit. Okay?
Do you guys got the copyright to your patches?
Hey, we got
Yes.
copy. Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yeah. Why didn't you ask it just before you guys come on your so-called podcast,
Let him ask some
talking
questions.
all that stuff and throwing it back in our face? And that brother you talk about, you and him, we don't even have conversations with 1%ers. What they got to say about the Black Sabbath? Okay?
Well, it was leaked out to them from one of your guys.
Don't reach out. Reach out to the Mother chapter. You ain't reached out to nobody. And you called the Mother chapter? Did you before you even started this?
You talking about Bone.
You guys ain't doing nothing. Just all you're doing is a lot of bullshit, man.
Let him ask some questions.
Now, if you want to ask me a question, go ahead and ask me a question.
So we've already established that John Bunch was not voted in. He said he was, well, Pep said he was unanimously voted in. You're saying that he was not voted in.
That's right.
It's a goddamn lie.
Pep's a lie. Who did he vote in through? Through the Mother chapter? He didn't come to the Mother chapter. How in the hell could he be voted in? And Pep left the Mother chapter. He walked away from the Mother chapter.
That's right.
Wasn't your founder the one who put him in though, like you said? So the founders have a say over that.
What does that mean if the founder's not with the club anymore? He can't put nobody in. He can't put nobody in. He's not even affiliated with the club anymore. As far as him walking around with the national president retired on his back, who did that? Who asked him who started the nation? That was two entities, East Coast and West Coast. And the East Coast never talked to the West Coast, never found out nothing about nothing. That's why most of the guys out there don't even know they have a mother chapter.
Agree. That's what he said. They said that.
Wouldn't that be on the mother chapter though? If your guys didn't know you had one?
Hey, listen to John Bunch.
Hey, listen to me. Listen to the Trinidad. All right. I've been affiliated with the Black Sabbath in 1979. They started in 74. I knew most of those guys.
Congratulations. That's a big accomplishment, man. That is.
Most of the guys that was in there, while they was in there, had some of them was in when we was in the van sets. Okay. So I've been there that long. All this shit you talking about, they kept hid from the mother chapter, mainly Paul Perry, because he went and gave the paperwork to John Bunch saying, well, the mother chapter ain't here no more. That's because he walked away. We came out of the clubhouse, 4280 Market Street. Paul walked away. And when the next thing we heard about
what year was that?
2010. Well, 2010 rather. Yeah. 2010. Okay.
No, I'm talking about what year was this that it all started, back in the late 80s, or because you know what? I think I like talking to you because you're an actual OG away from all this.
He's been a con artist. What was that again, brother?
I like talking to Trinidad because he has the history. I want to know the history.
2014.
There's motherfuckers here that are going to give you the history when he gets done.
Listen, man.
Calm down. Relax.
2010. Okay. That's when Paul Perry walked away. That's when he walked away. Right? Because he came up with a big backpack, came in the clubhouse one night. He said, man, this is where we got. So what you got? What you guys doing? What kind of patch is that? He said, Larry, this is where we going. I said, we ain't going like that. He said, well, we're going to vote on it. We never voted on it. So I told him plain, number one, I'm never going to wear that patch. And the people that with me said, no. Paul Perry walked out. Next time we heard from Paul Perry is when he came with them big back patches. By then, he had already went to John Bunch, told John Bunch, well, you can control the mother chapter. We're going to send the mother chapter to Atlanta. Now, you don't take the mother chapter out of the state that was born in. You don't do that. But everybody believes that. We just let Paul go.
That's right.
We didn't do nothing with Paul at all. We don't deal with Paul today. And he know why.
That's right.
He know exactly why. Okay? So the mother chapter never was dissolved. Never was dissolved.
Well, I actually wanted to bring some fun here because you are from the old days. I wanted to hear about that history, kind of give it to where this is the way Black Sabbath started, and what you're seeing now is not what it was.
Right. Well, you know that, man. This whole.
But my audience don't. How was it back when you started?
What you want some music? And you talking about the internet?
Yeah.
Hey, man, we don't do that because we don't put our business out. Now you guys got our business all on the internet. Why? Who is Black Dragon? He is a myth. You guys making him into a reality.
He's a fraud.
That's what you guys are doing. You're making him into a reality. He is a nobody. A plain nobody. He should have been out of the club years ago, but because of Paul Perry, he's still hanging around. He don't have control. He don't have control of what you guys let him have control of.
So my question to you, OG, would be when Paul so all of this is basically based on Paul Perry giving Dragon a patch and giving him the authority that you guys knew nothing about.
That's right. And he told nobody.
That's right.
He gave that boy that patch.
That's right.
Okay. So now, with that being said, OG, with that being said, we can now understand the frustration, number one, and all of the stuff that's being said, and because the people wanted to know, how did he go on for so long without being checked? But you just answered that question. Hold on. You just answered that question because you said
been removed many times.
And Paul Perry brought him back.
Okay. But you got what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying, OG. What I'm saying is that was the question that everybody wanted to know, was how did he get away for these many years repping Black Sabbath, repping the national title, the whole 9 yards? And you just gave us the answer. You said his alliance to Paul Perry is how he was able to do all the stuff that he did without you guys knowing any of it?
Because we respect Paul, and we don't hurt our own brothers. But he's been hoodwinked by that Negro.
He changed. The boy's been in the back pocket all this time, bro. In fact, there is a split. East Coast wasn't talking to the West Coast because what the East Coast got started, everybody on the East Coast that has a back, Sabbath pastor in their back, and didn't come to the mother chapter, they are bootleg chapters, every one of them, and they know who they are.
There it is there.
So everyone that the mother chapter did not bless is bootleggers, the ones that are Black Sabbath out on the East, South, all that.
No, man, you ain't listening to me, man. You're not listening to me. I'm saying if they did not come through the mother chapter, they are bootlegs.
That's right.
You have to come through the mother chapter to become a chapter.
That's right. Like any
a
other
member of the, it's like any other club. If you don't come through the head club, which is the mother chapter, you cannot claim yourself as one.
That's right.
Us being on the West Coast, we don't deal with them on the East Coast because they got their own agenda. They got a Black Dragon agenda, period.
So basically, the guys that Black Dragon brought in are the bootleggers. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes, everyone that he brought in, because they didn't come through the other chapter.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Let me get on there and speak with them. I'll let them know.
So basically, the chapters that Black Dragon brought in, say from, I don't know how it works, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, all them are not Black Sabbath.
You're talking it.
Well, he was breaking the rules, and you know that too, as a 1%er. That motherfucker was just acquiring other clubs. That's wrong, and we haven't been able to stop him. And every time we try to, he brings up this shit because he's a master manipulator.
Now he got you guys putting him on the podcast.
Not because he's a badass motherfucker. Not because he's a badass motherfucker. And people fear him. He ain't nobody to fear. He's a man.
Well, you know what? For one, I'd like to say I'm not bringing any. I let the Black Sabbath come on so you guys could put your side of the story out.
You could have asked us first. Yeah. We are the OGs. Everybody you've been talking to, if they don't have more than 30 years in any belt of Black Sabbath, don't even talk to them because they don't know nothing about the Black Sabbath.
Well, but that's why we're here now, OG, and we appreciate you guys for doing this because that's why we're here now, because we wanted to get to the bottom of the whole entire thing. And I appreciate you guys taking the time. I appreciate you guys giving the story because, again, it's out there to the world fucked up. Now, how it got out there, why we there, the whole 9 yards, it is what it is. But me and Hollywood are not the generators of the paperwork and all of the bullshit that's been put out. But again, I want to tell you thank you again because you have cleared up one of the main questions you just cleared it up was how was he able to get away for so long representing Black Sabbath, representing as a national president, bringing on other chapters, the whole 9 yards. And what you just said was his alliance to Paul Perry is what is what it was, and the mother chapter never had no knowledge of any of the shit that he was doing. You got that, right? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, man?
Yeah, so I just want to make sure everybody know. Hey, we let you guys on the show. I wasn't even involved during the week with this.
Go ahead, Chief.
Hollywood.
What up, Hollywood?
Hey, what's up, man?
Go back and watch Dragon's last podcast.
I didn't watch any of that stuff.
I did. Go ahead.
In his podcast, Pep told on himself, Dragon told on himself. So, any questions anybody got to ask, go look at his podcast.
I mean, it might sound stupid, Hollywood, but I got it. I'm telling you, everything makes perfect sense to me. Again, like what they're saying is the man was a master manipulator. The man he has a way with words, the whole 9 yards. But again, it's also our culture on this side, Hollywood. We don't put emphasis a lot into history. You understand what I'm saying? Like for example, like the gentleman just said, how are you a Black Sabbath and you didn't come through the mother chapter? How are you a Black Sabbath for 4 or 5 years and you never been to San Diego to the mother chapter? You understand what I'm saying? So
there was no national rides to the mother chapter, none of that.
Oh no, there was none of that. They started that on their own. John Bunch started it national. Wasn't no national. You know, the national president got to come through the mother chapter anyway.
That's right.
Be from the mother chapter.
That's
Ask where
right.
the national comes from.
Any
Who's the
motherfucking
president?
chapter comes to the fucking mother
You
chapter.
guys talk about rules. Well, talk to somebody who know the rules.
I know the rules.
You talking about babies out there that don't know nothing but what they talk when they dip the nipple, and they've been served the nipple, bro.
I got you. I mean, I hear you.
John Bunch actually said that I grew a nation. Took it from a mom and pop organization.
Yeah.
It was illegal, and we haven't been able to do him. Now you want me to go to jail for murder? We don't do that.
Okay, I promised that I would. I'm going to come back to the OGs in a second. I do want to give because the other guys are asking to make, because this has been all over the internet, and I want to make sure everybody gets their 2 cents in. I believe it's good to try to get this off the internet, if you know what I mean. Hold on a sec. I'm going to bring in Archbishop is in with us now. Big Cell and the OGs will be coming back in a second. What's up, Archbishop?
What up, though?
Man, look at you getting all freaking professional with the freaking podcast stuff, man. Love it.
Yeah, man, it is what it is now. You know what I mean? It's blowing up pretty good on this side.
My man, what do you think about everything? I know you had some thoughts about this.
Man, it's it's a lot of dysfunctional shit, to tell you the truth. But I'm gonna start back in one thing and then bring myself up, if you don't mind. With the
you got the mic, man.
With your people from Black Sabbath that's on the mother chapter that was just talking. I agree with what they're saying. Mother chapter should have a certain degree of influence when it comes to a lot of things dealing with that particular club. Now, it should already be in their bylaws to where any new member that comes in have to make that pilgrimage to San Diego and pay homage to the mother chapter. That should be, any national club should be able to do that. So if that's not what's going on now, then that's something that you may need to put into your bylaws as of today. Now, the fact about all the chapters that Dragon bought in are basically bootleggers, I can't agree with that one, because they've been there. And if this was a big issue, then why is it just now being addressed? Why is it that, like everything had to become nasty before all the dysfunctional shit came out? You see what I'm saying? So when you start looking at some of this stuff, and like I said, I do agree that the mother chapter does have a certain degree of pull to be able to do it. But you also have to understand that the mother chapter does not run shit. They have influence, but they do not run shit. That's where your national cabinet comes into. Okay. So, but you still have to give that balance. You know what I mean? Because if the mother chapter happy, the national's happy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give that balance where it's at. Now, for this man, because from what I'm hearing on here, it's like this dude came in talking about Dragon. So Dragon comes in and Pep gives him rags, and then he basically takes over the damn club. That's what it seems like here. That don't make sense, because how is this one man able to do all that? You know what I mean? You got 30 some odd years to go that went through and nobody said nothing. Why is this whole he didn't cross over situation? Why is that even a situation now 30 some odd years later? Why is that a situation now? If he wasn't a member, how did he just become the national? How did you make him a national president if he was not a member? Why didn't the mother chapter or anybody else stand up and say, fuck no, he's not even a damn member. He can't be the national president. But that's not what took place. You give him that position, and now he's doing all this other stuff to where he's, it's cool when people grow. You know what I mean? I give it to anybody that's in a situation that they can grow and be bigger than where they were. You give them full property, like, okay, you do that. And he did that. And he brought a lot of stuff into Black Sabbath. He brought a lot of recognition into Black Sabbath. Whether you liked him or you don't like him for whatever reason, he brought that in there. So it's a certain degree of respect that you still got to give the man, whether you like him or not. He brought that in there because you wouldn't have had it without him. Now, the whole thing about him being out bad. Now, you know this for being fact. If you're gonna put somebody out bad, number one, you got to be unanimous. It has to be a unanimous decision. Number two, it has to be within your bylaws. Within your bylaws. So, but it has to be a club. You know, theft. You know, sleeping with somebody's old lady, for instance. Snitching. You know what I mean? Something that whatever this person done, like, cannot be rectified under no ifs, ands, buts about it. He has to go. Then that takes place. But you can't have a clandestine meeting and decide that. And then you got your chapter over in Colorado. Yeah, but we know where the letter came from. You have them write this letter and they put it out like a damn press release talking about this man out bad for whatever reason, blah, 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 blah. That's your first fuck up right there. Now we sitting here talking about we doing these shows and stuff, and that's making Dragon popular. Well, you made him popular when you bought it, when you put that letter out there. When you start sending the letter to everybody and you're sending bylaws to people who should not have bylaws. When you send in charges to people who should not have charges. You see what I'm saying? I got all this shit. I got all of it. Now, you can't smack this one unless you smacking this one too. So whoever it was that was sending it out, and we know who it is, but whoever it was that was sending it out, then you should deal with them for putting your chapter business out there like that. Because right now, you the one that's making them famous right now because you keep talking about it. Instead of dropping the shit and fixing whatever you got left out of that club and piecing it back together to make it do whatever it's going to do. You know what I mean? Right now, you got a black eye. It's a black eye on that club. Everybody in the nation is talking about this right now because it's a bunch of bullshit. And it's not what we came in years ago. It's not it's not the structure that we set up. You know what I mean? I've been out here 25 years. This ain't the shit that we set up. I mean, chapter business is chapter business. It stays within your chapter or within your nation. It doesn't go outside of that. You ain't never seen nobody put out no press release about somebody going out bad. It just don't happen. But you see, this is society. This is the younger generation that's doing this, and this is younger generation that's killing this shit, that's killing the set, that's killing these fucking clubs because they come in with this new age bullshit. Now, you got Sale on here. You got you on here, Hollywood. Now, how many times have you ever seen a club put out a press release talking about somebody being out bad and the reason why?
I never have. That's why I was confused.
Right. It don't happen. It don't happen. If he gone, then he gone. Get him, take his fucking rags, you be done. See you. Go on about your damn business. But we done made this a 2-week on thing. You know what I mean? You done had the one dude on TikTok, he bashing him. You got people on Facebook, they bashing him. We doing, different shows or whatever. You know what I mean? Some got his back, some don't. You know what I mean? You going back and forth. Why? Over some disgruntled, dysfunctional bullshit.
So
in this so-called nation.
Let me ask you this. You don't think it's fair for them to use social media the way Black Dragon uses social media?
As in what?
As in to say, hey, we are no longer affiliated with him. Just like he used them to be affiliated. He used Black Sabbath to be relevant. You don't think Black Sabbath was right or was within range to use social media to say, hey, we are no longer associated with him?
Well, see, I think the relevancy goes both ways because the club is one thing. The moves and the actions that Dragon did, from the books and, the movie stuff and the podcast and all that, that's something that man did. Now, on that end, did Black Sabbath benefit from that? Absolutely. Because, I mean, quiet as kept. Would anybody even know who Black Sabbath was if he wouldn't have done all that? No. So it's tit for tat. You know what I mean? Now, granted,
no, and I got you. I got you what you're saying, but I'm asking you. What I'm asking is the same way that he got on. I'm gonna use the same measures to turn you off. You don't think that's fair?
no,
Okay.
no, not with that. Not with that. Not with that. Because look at what we got right now, Sal. Now we got
what we got right now. What we got right now is a clusterfuck of all type of shit. And even now, when it's all said and done, everybody gonna believe what they're gonna believe. Some people have drunk the juice, and it is what it is. Some people have never drank the juice.
Drunk whose juice? Drunk the guys that are going after Black Dragon, sending out press releases, or drink Black Dragon juice? Because the only time you're talking about drinking the juice, you're talking about drinking Black Dragon's juice. But these guys are pushing bullshit too. They put out
the man created a whole chapter, a Ronin chapter. He created an Atlanta chapter. Well, he didn't create the Atlanta chapter, but he built the Atlanta chapter based on disdain or lies about the mother chapter not even being in existence. You heard the members say that. The members say he didn't know nothing about the mother chapter. He was told this and this.
The funny thing about that is, and I didn't get a chance to answer this, but you kept hearing the dude from the mother chapter say, if you want to know this, ask the mother chapter. Have you talked to anybody from the mother chapter? He said that. I wasn't on here. But guess what? Cool Cat, who's with the mother chapter, called me. I got 3 pages of text messages from Cool Cat from the mother chapter. Talked to him on the phone with Cool Cat, Offset. I'm giving the names because they gave me the names. Cool Cat, Offset, Hardcore, and several other brothers, some from the mother chapter, some not. But now those same dudes is on here, or I'm assuming the same dudes. They said they was from the mother chapter. But guess what? The stories keep changing. But the one thing that you were just asking Archbishop, and what he was explaining to you very excellently, is your question was, if I think I got it right, was it okay for them to use social media in the same way that Black Dragon has used social media by which to build his brand, or to, as you said, build his reputation or whatever off the backs of Black Sabbath? The thing is that, and I couldn't, Lord knows, couldn't said it no better. Black Sabbath, nobody would know who the fuck Black Sabbath is had it not been for Black Dragon doing what he did. He put them on the map and made them relevant. And in the process, yes, he benefited from it because he built this channel and all that kind of jazz. But at the same exact time, to try to take away his accomplishments because of disgruntledness, because of this thing, that thing, the other thing, here, let me just bottom line this shit. If you got a problem with a member, because the man was a member. Let's just take the bullshit off the table. He was a member of that club, and some argue still is. But he was a member of that club, got patched over however the fuck it was, and for that many years, now all of a sudden in 2024, all of that gets called into question. Which the question, like Archbishop just said, why is that? That now, after all these years, all of this stuff now becomes an issue when it hasn't. There's supposedly a 10-year investigation. It don't take 10 years to do an investigation.
I think that was a word. I think that was a mistake on word.
I do. Why you
10 years?
While you're on Big Bone and Archbishop, I want to bring in the OGs again, and let's not everybody talk over everybody, but I want to let you guys give some questions.
Okay, so how was it? Now my question
Go ahead,
is,
guys.
How would you have okay? So Atlanta is supposed to be this rogue chapter. So how do you have a chapter, like a chapter within the nation that's against everything else? Like how does that even happen? And why was nothing done about it when it first came about?
Are we on?
OGs, you're on now. Trinidad.
Let me
go ahead.
explain.
Back to it again.
Let me explain this to you all and know.
One more time.
Okay. Boy started out. He was never a member. So if you're a never member, and you didn't get past this through the mother chapter, you have no say. All you guys are hearing is hearsay from one guy. And you keep believing that one guy. That guy's just been because he tried to rewrite the bylaws of the Black Sabbath mother chapter. And we tell him no. The pastor, he's talking about all this shit, all that's irrelevant, bro. That's all irrelevant. And you guys talk about you know much, okay? All you know is about what you guys have been doing. You don't know nothing about the Black Sabbath. Especially the mother chapter.
So there is no Atlanta chapter? There's no Atlanta chapter?
Hey, you still ain't listening, my man. You still ain't listening. Okay?
Okay. Help me understand.
If you didn't come through the mother chapter, you ain't a chapter. I don't care where you come from. Okay? If you want to say they're a chapter, then you're saying they're a chapter. The mother chapter is saying they did not come through the mother chapter.
Why didn't y'all take their rags then? Like, don't y'all take their rags? If somebody was wearing somebody else's shit, don't you take the rags?
Listen to me. Ask them how he got them rags. They didn't get them through the mother chapter.
So you got a club within a club.
You want me to ride way back east to take something from somebody that ain't even there in the first place? Come on, man. What club you come from? You are one.
Hey, we don't got to do it like that now. But what I'm saying is,
dealing with a club within a club.
I'm here to answer questions, so don't be disrespectful. All right, but
hey, man,
what I said was,
you guys disrespect us by putting us on blast in the first place. Why? What is this news to you guys?
No, come on.
No, y'all sent the letters to me. Y'all sent the letters to me.
Who sent you the letter?
Ask Cool Cat, who say he's from the mother chapter. Cool Cat, is he from the mother chapter or not?
I'm asking you.
They broke up.
Yeah, I guess.
Let me just say this. This was somebody just sent me. They want this to be said. Membership ain't the issue. Let me just say this real quick, Hollywood. Membership ain't the issue. Bunch refused the trial. He was tried in absentia for violating the bylaws. He was found guilty on multiple counts. That's it.
But when was that? When was those bylaws done?
Oh, I don't know. I don't got that part. I'm just saying.
But we just now talking about it though. Yeah. So years don't went by dealing with these bylaws, but now all of a sudden it's relevant.
Right. And I just asked a simple question. If Atlanta is not a chapter, then how do they got rags and everything else? That's a simple question. I don't got to be upset to ask the question. They don't got to be upset to answer it. That's a simple question.
Okay, let's I think we got him back in. OG's back, right? Is that me?
Somebody on there.
It gotta be. I think that's you, Hollywood. Whoever that is with the bill.
And if you're wondering, me, I know the white set. These guys are the black set, so I'm just kind of sitting back and letting them have the platform to do what they got.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out if he switched the bylaws when he became the national, whatever year that was. Why come now in 2024 we talking about the fact that he switched the bylaws? So
I'm gonna bring old.
Nobody said nothing about these bylaws until now.
Well, could it be too? Also, could it be too that Dragon started talking about the pedophile dude and all this shit kicked up from that?
That's what I'm saying. Why come none of this shit was fixed prior to that though?
Because listen, but let me say this. But we got proof that Dragon brought in the pedophile. Except for the man
I got the paperwork too, where it said that he was found not guilty by child services.
By child services, but
child services is not the law.
I know, but listen to what I'm saying. So, for example, okay, the message
we got old school joining us too.
Okay, I got you old school. But what I'm saying is this: regardless as to all of that, like just like Black Dragon right now is trying to make the pedophile thing an issue. It can't be an issue now if it wasn't an issue to you when you got the original application. Okay. You agree or disagree?
Okay, so let me take it in. Number one, hold on, Minbo. Hold on, Minbo. Hold on a minute.
Go ahead.
Number one, it wasn't Dragon that put out about the pedophile. It was Big Cookie that sent the letter about the pedophile.
That got put out as well. Didn't Big Cookie get put out too? Didn't Big Cookie get put out the same time as Black Dragon got put out?
He said, I don't know when he got put out. I just know that he got put out because he was the one that actually made the stink about it. He was the one that was actually talking about it. And then he went back to Dragon with this, and then that's when all this stuff kicked off.
Yeah, but it was Cookie got put out. Big Cookie got put out the club, and then he the one kicked up the. However, the phone got kicked up. It was after they were disciplined. Period. After they were disciplined, that's when all the funk got kicked up about the pedophile. But again, my question to you is this: is that how can the pedophile being a pedophile is an issue anyway? How can a pedophile be an issue to any of you guys now when y'all accepted him in the beginning? Period.
Because and you know what? That's a great question. I asked that question, and I asked that question of one of the nationals from Black Sabbath, along with a few folks. I asked I asked Big Cookie, I asked Dragon, I asked Offset. And anyway, neither here nor there. But what I will tell you is that the way it was explained to me, which actually made sense, was this dude got in some kind of way. He got in, he fell through the cracks or whatever the fuck it was. He got in. Once Big Cookie, who was the sergeant at arms for the chapter where the pedophile was, he, without knowing anything about what was going on with his East Coast regional, which was Black Dragon at the time, he went upline after he had to talk to his chapter president, who was the pedophile, who basically told him to mind his business, stay in his lane. He went to the VP, got more of the same. So he did what we call in the Marine Corps request mask. He went upline, and that was his next upline was to his regional president. He went to his regional president, who was Black Dragon, who was now obligated, according to the way it was explained, and it makes sense. His regional is required to respond to the request that came in from the sergeant at arms of that chapter. The sergeant at arms is the cat who gives people charges.
After he was put out, he never questioned it before he
was
put out.
Hold on a second.
Y'all want us to talk about it? Y'all
hold
want us to talk about it?
Hold on a second, guys. Old school. Let him talk.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. For one, you got sold a bag of goods by Big Cookie and Dragon. That's what happened. And let me explain how it happened. For one, Frederick came to us via Black Dragon's website or the web presence, whatever you want to call it. Black Dragon was the one that gave out the applications, and ironically, Big Cookie was a prospect with the flip over club that came over. So Big Cookie knew why they were leaving and why they were trying to come to Black Sabbath in the first place. So to say that Big Cookie didn't know about the past charges on the brother is fictitious and a bold-faced lie. So ultimately, Dragon knew about it because even when it was presented to Dragon, they talked about it. Now the problem is that when they came online, see, Dragon was still on this split stuff. He was still never truly trying to come on board and be truly Black Sabbath. It was always with the idea of him running the show. So ultimately, what he did, he had the applications and didn't show anybody else. So ultimately, these guys come online and go through the process, whatever. I say, so we went on. If he said they was good, and we said, okay, shit. Dragon said they was good. They was good. So we said, fuck it, they was good. Was anybody going behind him and double checking them? No. But that's why we started changing that shit. One person can't sponsor somebody come in. We got to make sure we got the checks and balances. So thanks to Dragon, we changed the policy. Thank you, Dragon, for that. But ultimately, he knew about my man's situation. The reason why he was on his podcast the other day was because he was backtracking. Because if you looked on there, he was never convicted of being a pedophile. The charges were never fucking. I mean, come on, I ain't got time to go into that man's case. But ultimately, Dragon knew what the dude was all the time. But it was like 4th degree thrown out, all that shit. The dude's right now successful family man. He ain't never been in no trouble before or after. The case was bullshit, and he knew that, and that's why he overlooked and didn't really say nothing. But he knew exactly what was on that application because he was the one that gave it to him and received it. So to say that he did not know, and then Big Cookie came over with them, come on, it was disingenuous, bro. What it was is that Dragon and Cookie they were unbecoming members. Like Dragon was East Coast regional at one point, right? I mean, I ain't gonna try to put all the business, but since we're here, we might as well just put the fucking T out, right? So ultimately, he was East Coast regional, and he had boys he was cool with. One was Cookie, and several others. When asked to discipline him, he was like, "I'll handle it. It's my watch. I'll do the discipline the way I need to do it, and this and that, and so and so." Ultimately, we got to the point where, dude, this shit ain't tenable. It ain't tenable no more. And when charges came up from several people and different chapters within the region, he said he was too big to stand trial. And then around that time, Cookie was doing some things that were unbecoming of a member. We ain't got to go into the details, but ultimately He was brought up on charges. He refused to stand trial. Instead of standing trial, these guys, Big Cookie refused and said he wanted to appeal it up. Now, you guys know, and we know some NC protocol. I know y'all trying to blast us for not knowing what we're doing, but you know this much. If you can't appeal it up until you first go through the trial, are you guilty or not guilty? I ain't going to say I appeal, that's bullshit. You don't work like that. Are you guilty or not guilty? If you're not guilty, we run the evidence, you go to the committee, you see what happens. If you don't like the decision, then you appeal it up. You don't get to just appeal it up because you don't like the shit. But it was the same type of thing that Dragon was doing. I'm too big to stand trial. Are you guilty or not guilty? This shit go on for 4, 5, 6 months. After a while, like, you know what? We're going to move forward without you. I tell you what, you want to have your time to speak your piece? You never would take the time to do it. Guess what? We're moving on. So that's how we end up getting here. The dude got in. It was slimy how he got in. Hey, he's charismatic. What can I say? But ultimately, once you find out what he truly is, you will backpedal away from that bullshit. So, like, come on, guys. We ain't crazy here, bro. I'm telling you, man, that whole Big Cookie and that Dragon shit was cocked the fuck up as a distraction to get people's energy away from the wrongdoings that they had done. Now, the whole leak shit, we never did no press release. That was an internal document that got out. And we'll handle that when that comes time. But ultimately, if you don't ever get written up for shit, ain't nothing to leak. If you aren't being a fucking cut up and doing dumb shit, there's nothing to write up. Y'all know that. I mean, it's unfortunate the shit got out. I guess the information on our brother that's out got put out. But hopefully that shit happened in 99. We talking about, I think this guy got put out our club, but stuff that's happening 2, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. It ain't about his membership and how he got in. That's a moot point. We trying to get the cancer out. And either way, how this information goes, we all said and done, we will get back to being Black Sabbath and riding. And as far as the legitimacy of the East Coast, that's what he was trying to do, was a schism, was trying to cause this schism. And some people fell for the bait. They pounding on tables and all this dumb shit. But ultimately, dude, we are Black Sabbath. We were trying to pull the nation together, and this guy was doing his best to keep that from happening. Once people started to realize the subterfuge and the deception, that's when we came together and said, hey, man, we love Black Sabbath and we love the organization. Some of us might have came in it the wrong way, but we still be a part of this. And the way that it works, like you said, you got to go see your mother. Yeah, you're going to have an MC without your mother. It don't make no sense. But a lot of us getting into it, we were so enamored with just the whole idea, like Self saying, some of us didn't do the due diligence. Is that our fault? Okay, sure, why not? We'll own that. But ultimately, the dude's a cancer, and we did our best to get him out. It took a fucking long time, and it's real messy, and it's out here, and everybody's talking about it. Oh, man, 2 weeks it'll go away, and we'll still be here doing our thing, and we'll be better for it. Because ultimately, the dude was like a black plague on the organization. Now, some people will disagree with that, but ultimately, dude, if you dig down into it, I ain't leaking shit for info, but I can tell you this much: he is a terror, and he's using the effects of the MC Brotherhood to his detriment. We are a culture out here, guys, and all of us supposed to be together out here, man. This dude is about himself. He's about his own promotion. He talks about I. Come on, bruh. It's about we. Don't be all about what you can do for yourself. It's about what you can do for us, what we can do together. And he is not like that. He may come off, like I said earlier, he treat your brothers like solid gold. If he was actually doing that, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Now, yeah, I don't like to be out here on this shit, but it's ridiculous, bro. You talking about this dude is, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna jump in there just a little bit. And by the way, let me tell you, first of all, hats off to you, because you are a excellent representative for your club. Now, and I'll keep it a buck with you. I don't subscribe to everything that you said, but I love the way that you said it. You know, you're enthusiastic. You sound credible, and Lord knows if there should be a national spokesman for your club, man, you should throw your hat in the ring for that job, because you're doing your club proud. However, in the process of some of the things that you're saying, some things just don't shake out. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but no matter how well you say it, there's some things that still just don't make any sense.
Okay, what's up?
You know, like, for example, going back to the whole pedophile thing, there's still this issue that because what you were saying, as far as Big Cookie and like that, because here's the thing, again, no matter how thin you slice a piece of bread, there's still two sides to it. And their side of the argument, meaning when I say they, I'm talking about Big Cookie and Black Dragon, they got a whole different thing that's going on. I talked to both of them at length on this subject, and this is only after I got dragged into this shit. And their stories, first of all, you're saying, you know, that they're good and tight and all like that. According to these cats, and this is independent of each other, it really was like they didn't really know each other or deal with each other like that much prior to the process of them coming on. And Big Cookie claims that, which sounded credible, he said that the reason or the explanation that the pedophile gave, Lestat gave behind him getting kicked out of the previous club was they said, oh, well, he's black and they're coming down on him and he was going to move up in the Masons, but he had a robbery from years ago and they're using that as the excuse to kick him out, but he really knows it's because he was black. And Big Cookie said that was his understanding. And he said, Big Cookie explained he didn't know no different until there was a prospect that had some sort of issue with Lestat, and the prospect went and dug up this information, and that's what started the ball rolling. Now, with Black Dragon, whether he knew or didn't know, whether he bought into the, hey, this wasn't that much of a bad thing, or whichever, once it came to him officially through official channels, as in a sergeant at arms saying that, hey, there's a problem here, guess what? Do your job. I don't care who the regional is. At this point, you got to do your job. If you didn't do it the first time, you got to do it now. So my point is, whether you caught the pedophile in the beginning, whether you let it slide in the beginning and you're not letting it slide now, or whether you didn't see it in the beginning and you're calling it out now, either or, there's a pedophile in the organization and that needs to be gone. That's a cancer also. That cancer needs to get gone. The other thing is that the thing that I just can't seem to wrap my brain around, and you know, I get it. The cats from Mother wanted to get all mad and all this kind of stuff, but I asked a simple question, and it's a very simple question. If, in fact, according to them, that Atlanta, just talking about Atlanta, if Atlanta is not a real chapter because Dragon put it there and all this other kind of stuff, then my question is, if that's not a real chapter and they're running around claiming Black Sabbath, and y'all are Black Sabbath, how you gonna let a whole chapter exist for that long without handling that business? Like, as in, y'all gonna take them rags off, give me them rags because y'all ain't a chapter. Or any other chapter that he set up that is supposedly not a chapter. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about MC culture, MC protocol. So I'm saying those are simple questions.
I'll answer your questions, Big Bone.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
As far as the whole fucking pedophile thing, again, Dragon bought in the chapter the wrong freaking way. He accepted the application and he knew all the shit about it. Now, after he gets disciplined, he put the shit out there and made it seem like the club knew about it and we didn't know about it. It was swiftly dealt with. The dude's not in the club no more, period. I'm not going to go back and forth about it. Y'all heard him say that he accepted the application. You heard him say that he sponsored the club and he brought the guy on. Hey, man, the shit happened. It's fucked up. We got a black eye from it. It won't happen again, and we're going to move forward from it. I'm done talking about that. You got the answers to it. He answered them yesterday. I just answered them now.
Right on.
As far as the Atlanta chapter and him splitting the nation, like I said, if you were born and you were told the color blue is red, that shit is red to you because that's what you were told when you was brought up in this game. So he fucking split the club, man. He been doing it. He moved and said that the mother chapter was in Atlanta. He changed the patch. He changed the way we completely do business. He rewrote the bylaws that he wanted to operate by. We wasn't operating through the mother chapter bylaws, so everything was fucked. Everything that we were taught when we came into the game was from Dragon. It's two different separate bylaws. It's a fucking club split. He split the club, and now it's being fixed. I don't think there's nothing else we need to talk about. Everybody understands he split the club. He wasn't a legitimate member. He admitted the shit. He admitted he let the pedo in the club. He admitted he received the application. He admitted he sponsored the chapter. He has admitted everything, and we're still sitting here having the same conversation. You just heard from all my OGs that have been in the game for 50 plus years, 30 plus years, and they told you exactly what happened with the guy. I don't know why we spinning our wheels having the same conversation when we all understand the same thing. Now we have our personal opinions about the guy, and that's why we're still sitting here talking about it. The facts have been stated. Furthermore, he's out the club. If I got to ride down to Atlanta, snatch his fucking patches, that's what's going to happen, right? Ain't no talking about it. Ain't no coming back. People can feel the way they want to feel about it. No matter what club you in, you can feel the way you want to feel about my fucking club. Same thing. The shit happened. His ass is out. He's not coming back. End of discussion, as far as that's concerned.
Black Sabbath is a respected club and has been for a long time. And, you know, I got to tell you, a lot of that is because, and some folks on this set might not want to agree, but Black Sabbath has a respected name, much due, not exclusively, but much because of Black Dragon. And one thing, and I think everybody here will admit, that for many years has started saying nothing other than the mighty, mighty Black Sabbath Nation this and Black Sabbath that, and Black Sabbath is damn near walking on water, according to this dude. So
that's fine, Big Bone. I'm sure.
Yeah.
The North Korean president, everybody thinks I'm sure the North Korean president, everybody in his country thinks he's a great fucking leader.
Yeah,
when it gets out to the outside of the world, it's not true, right? So
yeah, hey, look, I'm saying as far as everybody everywhere else, I'm not talking about internally. I'm saying on the set, Black Sabbath enjoys a stellar reputation throughout the nation. I'm saying outside of Black Sabbath.
Well, let me say this though, but not because of Black Dragon though, because see, Black Sabbath.
I didn't say exclusively.
Okay. Because I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I got Black Dragon from the San Diego, from the San Diego, the run that they used to throw back in the day every year. They used to throw one of the baddest runs every year in California.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah,
that cold ass run you're talking about.
Well, not the polar bear shit.
Okay.
Not that shit.
Talking about the other one. But that's my point. They have a lot of things that they do that are Black Sabbath, that Black Sabbath does, and they're respected. So if we're arguing about whether or not Black Sabbath is a respected club, I think that's ridiculous. Black Sabbath is a respected club. If we're arguing about why they're respected, whether doggone Black Dragon contributed to that or whether he didn't, whether the club, because I know members of Black Sabbath who are respectable people who make that shit look good. People are proud to call them a friend or an associate or however, people look at Black Sabbath and they think, yeah, that's the way to do it. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Black Sabbath is now bad. Yeah, this is a bad situation and it is a black eye for sure. But let's keep it a stack. The dude did a good thing. Not him exclusively, but he made the club look good.
Let me just say this, and I'm done. I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
For me, I appreciate Black Sabbath coming on here, giving their explanation. Like my brother just said, whether you believe it or not, whether you like him or don't like it, we don't give a fuck. It is what it is. He's gone. He's out of here. He's never coming back. We're gonna handle that. We may look bad right now, but we're gonna bounce back as we do, as you guys say you're gonna bounce back. And that's really, at the end of the day, I believe we handled what we came to handle, which was for them to give whatever explanation that they wanted to give, and for them to get their point across. And because we'll never get to the bottom of any of it the way that the public wants it out. I think he just did an excellent job with closing it out and saying, "Hey, it is what it is."
Yeah, absolutely.
It took us this long. To figure it out. We got it figured out. Fuck it. It is what it is. Let's go. And I think tonight, we can dead this whole entire subject. We can dead the Black Dragon shit. We can dead the Black Sabbath shit, and we can get back to motorcycle. That's what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. To me, let me say one last thing, guys. To me, I'll just say this: Black Dragon Man and Quickie on that bullshit. To me, it reminds me of something like a swatting, like MC style. It's like a little bit of kernel of truth with a lot of disinformation, and you're gonna call like the authorities on us to kind of get somebody hurt, maimed, or injured. And that's what happened here. You ain't gotta go into the details, but I'm telling you, that's what this is about. Little kernel of truth with a lot of disinformation and a lot of fucking internet sizzling to kind of make it sell. But ultimately, it was to defer attraction from the bullshit they were already embroiled in. And sometimes it's thick as thieves, man. But ultimately, let's get back to riding. Let's get back to doing true MC and getting off this bullshit. So I appreciate the platform. Thank y'all.
Right on, brother. I'll tell you one thing. Whoever it is, just to get right back to the day one of this shit, the day one of everybody else getting involved in Black Sabbath business, I think we all can agree, Black Sabbath or not, Black Sabbath information should have stayed Black Sabbath information. So whoever doggone from what do they call it? Olympic City, Black Sabbath offset. Colorado. Don't send no more. Yeah, this information.
How about this? On that note, real quick, let me say something real quick, bro. On that,
yeah.
Some of the charges that even the Dragon was up on is talking club business out to other clubs. We ain't gonna go into the details, but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't no internet shit either. I'm talking about. But anytime you can get some information on somebody, and they say, He gonna call somebody, and we got issues or problems. That's talking club business. You want to be facts, but sometimes people think they got a platform and they could talk club business or whatever. We're not justifying and saying whatever. If we got leaks, we'll fix that. But we're trying to tell you, one of our biggest leaks had a platform. He doing pirouettes and shit with our cuts on. We told him, don't do that shit, bro. He doing with the medallion and all. Don't do that. If you're gonna do Black Dragon, be Black Dragon. If you want to be the Black Dragon and the Dragonettes, and start your own MC, but don't do Black Sabbath because we got our own way of doing it. And don't try to interfere with that.
Facts. Look, you ain't said nothing but the gospel right there. But I'm saying that's where bylaws on the black set are actually a thing. So that's not for you, brother. That's for earlier. It was said that on the black set we don't have bylaws, right? We do, and we believe them and we follow them. So
yeah, we got bylaws, but here's how it works. Sometimes it's somebody, you know how it works too, bro, on the black set. Sometimes it's if it ain't exactly written in the bylaws, then you got somebody say, oh, that ain't in the bylaws. Where it say you can do that at, and that's what you're dealing with a lot of times too. If you have the bylaws with every little nuance or something that happens, you don't have the bylaws as thick as the Bible. We ain't got. Come on, bro.
I want to get in here real quick, man. I'm gonna let everybody go into the back. I want to ask a couple questions of the OGs, not having to do with this. I'm a history buff, and I want to learn a little bit more of what the Black Sabbath, how it started, how they overcame some stuff in the 70s with the racial tensions, especially out there. Just give me a couple minutes with the OGs, man, and then I'll let you guys go back on and go for it.
You need to say something. Bitch, you want to talk before me?
I'll get you Archbishop and Bone. I'll bring you back on.
Yeah. Fuck this motherfucker.
Okay, just to get a little out of this and all this seriousness stuff, one of the biggest questions that I have, because I love the history of clubs, is Black Sabbath started in San Diego. Military is a big part of what the club started out to be. And give me a little background from the OGs, because you really don't get to hear this stuff from the originals.
It's tough stuff.
Man, what you want, man?
Yeah,
how long you been around?
Yeah, I'm Black Sabbath, Red Mitchell. I've been around since 1974.
I'm the Godfather.
I'm the Godfather. And a lot of the historian, too.
Go ahead, Godfather. Tell us the story about the start of Black Sabbath, what it faced back then in the 70s, and how do you see it changing?
Well, first of all, we've always been a brotherhood. And here lately, it doesn't seem like it, but that's how we feel. A breed apart means a breed apart. And with that said, we've already had too much info going on about what's going on with our club. We've already said way too much. I think this ought to end with he's gone, and that's it.
Right. Well, I understand that, but what I'm asking is about the club, away from all this nonsense. What was the club? How did it mean to you? Why did you guys start it? Oh, you got off. Well, I guess they're done. You there, Big Cell? I can't hear you, Big Cell.
My bad. Like I said, for me, Hollywood,
it was. I didn't want to talk about this bullshit.
No. But what I'm saying is, there is no right or wrong answer. We could point the fingers all day at who didn't do this, who did that, who did this. The fact of the matter is, Black Dragon spoke, Black Sabbath spoke. It is what it is. They gave, I believe, they gave a hell of a representation of themselves today. They admitted that, hey, we was fucked up. We getting it back together, and we gonna push forward, and we gonna motorcycle and do what the fuck we do from this point forward. And the fact is that Black Dragon is no longer associated with Black Sabbath. And for me, that's all I need. I'm super good with it. Just the fact that I wanted to make sure that the facts that I had or what I was putting out, because I was one of those internet trolls, as they say, that was putting out, the black dragging out bad thing. And I was probably a little bit more happier than I should have been, but it is what it is. But but again, I think that we did an excellent job. The club spoke well. We've heard from the OGs. We've heard their side of it. We heard the new side of it. We heard the new chapter side. We heard the new regime, how they feel about it. And that's it, Hollywood. I think we can close on that, man, and just let Black Sabbath be Black Sabbath. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, while I got him on, let's put all that to a side. Tell me, I want to know about how it started. Like I was asking the OGs, you just stay on, Big Cell. If not, you can.
I'm good. I'm right here.
Okay. Let's talk about the start of the Black Sabbath, away from all this bullshit. Hello?
Either one. Okay. Offset, you want to go or what? Me?
No, you go ahead, Scoop.
I don't want our audience.
All right, how about this? In 72, the Black Sabbath started up, and it started actually in Pep's garage, and they started off on the 305 Scrambler, taught everybody how to ride and all that. The wives and shit got tired of them hanging out in the garage, and by 74, they were able to start the first clubhouse at 4280 Market Street. So after they moved out of there and started in 74, that's how we got the beginnings. So it was, and the whole idea of the name was, it was 7 black guys who rode on the Sabbath. It's not named after a rock band or no bullshit like that. It was 7 brothers who got together on the Sabbath to ride and get together. Black Sabbath. That's how the name came apart.
I never knew that. I never knew.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's about the rock band. It has nothing to do with the rock band. Not a fucking thing to do with the rock band at all. So, and that's it. And we've been rocking ever since. We've been rocking. See, we come from a time before there was 1%ers and this and that and blessings and all that. We come from a time where, we did the thing. We was all in this together. It was, the whole thing of in-law, outlaw, all that was shit. We weren't in the AMA to begin with. So everybody was kind of outlaws back in the day. And I think things have kind of changed their focus now. So everybody's kind of gotten all this hoorah and shit. But ultimately, that's how they started out.
How did they when did they first? Because it's interesting. Black Sabbath is a mixed race club. When did that all come about? Was it one of the? I know Chosen Few did it a long time ago, but when did Black Sabbath do it?
1975.
Yeah.
So those guys said that we can't stand up against racism and Jim Crow laws and be against something and then do the same thing. So in 1975, they let the first white guy in. He happened to be in the military as well. So in 74, it was all black. By 75, we had already integrated and kept pushing the same way for 50 years now. So that's how that happened.
What about the military background?
Hell, you in San Diego. Military. Matter of fact, the OG's back on. They can tell you about that.
Their audio is backbeating again. Soon
we'll go on
mute.
Let them talk.
Unmute.
You there?
We can't hear y'all. Yo, Kelly, we can't hear y'all. Cool Cap.
Right.
There we go.
How about now? Is that good? Yeah, can you see?
Yeah, we got one last say.
Can you hear us? I'm Master Chief Clark. I joined in 1974. That's the military, okay?
Tell us how y'all started, y'all. Tell us how y'all started and tell us about the club. That's what they want to know now. We done with the dragon bullshit. So tell us about the club. Tell us how it started and tell us what you guys got out of it when you started it up and why you started it and the love that you have for it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let them go on.
Talk about that, man.
Well, it's open. That's what
I've been in club since 74. When I got in the club, I was military, and I was trying to find some brotherhood, like I had in the military, more or less. And that takes a lot of work. At any rate, that's how I got into it in 74.
How tough was it in
Pep
74?
was already there.
I think they're having all kinds of issues over there. Man, we got to get him back on for a history, man. That would be that way everybody don't see Black Sabbath as all screwed up and a legendary type of motorcycle club. But we do appreciate having Black Sabbath on. Final thoughts, Big Cell.
For me, man, it was I appreciate them. It was a hell of a show. Again, it wasn't for us to answer those questions. They answered them, and the people can accept it or not accept it. You can like it or not like the answers. Again, I love the fact that they recognize the problem and they recognize that, hey, we will get our organization back on point like it was. I love the OGs. I love their vigor. I love the fact that they feel how they feel, and everybody has said their piece, man. And like I said, I think we as the public, as it says in the Bible, this too shall pass. I think I think we've buried it, and or we at least put it in the ground. Now it's time for them to water it and watch it grow back into whatever it is. I learned a lot about Black Sabbath. So I mean, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, everybody had their piece to say. They spoke their piece, and it is what it is. And I hope that's enough for the public.
Rock on. Well, I know there's some roundtables that are going to be happening after the show. I think Mike Ball's having one. I don't know. They also were texting me saying they were going to have one, but I just wanted to give that a shout out. Hopefully, Black Sabbath can get back to being Black Sabbath, Black Dragon get back to being Black Dragon, and all the clubs out there that are watching this, man, don't leak stuff out to everybody because it will get all over the internet. And next thing you know, you got problems within your own club. And it's just sad to see, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to understand this. It may be sad, Hollywood, on your point as far as the professionalism of the motorcycle, of what motorcycling is. But from where I come from, brother, to watch it, to find the cancer, scoop it out, and to rebuild and to get back healthy. I think that's for us, for me, that's the catalyst of the whole thing, and that's the part that makes it all that makes it all what it is. I mean, and
well, I think Black Sabbath put themselves out there. They answered the really hard questions. We got special guest Big Bone 1% out, and Archbishop came out, asked hard questions as well. So you got to give props to the club for coming out and putting it out there.
Yeah. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all got your questions answered. If you didn't, fuck it. If you did, fuck it. It is what it is. Black Sabbath is going to be Black Sabbath. We are proud of them. Continue to grow. Continue to get your nation together. And hey, we just gonna wait for the next step.
Rock on, man. I'll see you later, Big Cell. I'm gonna talk to OG real quick, man.
All right, do your thing now. Do your thing.
All right, man. All right, man. It's just me and you guys right now. So you on here? Let's hear. Can you hear? You got to unmute it. This is the after show right now. We're going to be talking with the OGs of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. And before their phone went off, we were talking about a little bit about their history. And I'd like to know when they decided to go mixed race and how that affected them in the 1970s.
We never had a problem with
all right, so
race.
hey, this is Hollywood, right? This is Hollywood, right? Okay, my name's Richie Rich. For everybody out there watching this internet worldwide, I know the internet's worldwide. It's not just in America, it's worldwide. For people that
we're worldwide.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. This is the first time I've ever been on the internet. Like, you know, I got friends on the set, white, black, brown, multiracial clubs, 1%, 99. People that know me know me. I know you. I've never met you in person, Hollywood, but I've seen you on the internet before. I don't do all this internet stuff. I don't subscribe to people and this and that, whatever. But I know you want to talk about. I never got my 2 cents in on the John Bunce thing.
Okay, go ahead.
And if you want to talk about the other stuff, that's fine. But let me put my 2 cents in on the John Bunce thing. Fuck the pedophile thing. That's another thing that John Bunch was trying to use as a tool to help him look better. Let's talk about the John Bunch thing. Then after that, you can ask me questions about it. And if you want to talk about the history of it, I can tell you about that too. So
Go
ask me
for it.
whatever. Okay, my name is Richie Rich. I'm from the Mother Chapter, San Diego. Okay, and I've been in this club way longer than John. Okay, 30 plus years. I remember when he first showed up at the clubhouse. He had some nice slacks on, dress shirt, and some shiny ass shoes, and a camera. He was like a cameraman doing some magazine thing, motorcycle magazine thing. He didn't even have a fucking motorcycle. Okay. So I've been in this club since '92. I was given these colors right here. These colors right here in 1992. These colors right here, original colors, 1992. These colors, and they're right here too. They're right motherfucking there. They're right fucking there. So bottom line is, Pep. Can you hear me all right, bro?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bro.
I had to turn on the air. It was getting hot in the studio.
No problem, brother. So the bottom line is, he was never voted in. Pep is one of the founders. He's not the founder. See, when you go to court, I've been to court many times in my life. When you see people say certain words, and it's a thing in court. They say, "Oh, Pep is the founder." No, he's one of the founders, and he, as one of the founders, gave him his cuts / colors, whatever you want to call them, without the vote of the Mother Chapter. We didn't vote on that. That was his thing. He took him up under his motherfucking wing and gave him those colors. He took off from San Diego and went to, I think, Texas or Oklahoma. He started his thing. Okay, and then that was all per order of Pep, because Pep wanted to see the club expand. Pep wanted to shut down the Mother Chapter. Okay, now I'm not talking club business. Well, actually, I am. Actually, I am. But the shit was already out there. But I didn't fucking start talking about it. I'm not the one that leaked this shit. Now, as far as the people that leaked the paperwork, I have no idea who they are. They weren't from the Mother Chapter. Right here in San Diego, California. Somebody leaked it, and I'm pissed off about that because it makes our club look like shit. We got a black guy. Actually, we got 2 black guys. But all the shit I'm going to tell you right now is already shit that motherfuckers have already brought out to the table and talked about our club. I'm not going to fucking say anything to put our club business out there furthermore in other businesses, like how much money we got, finances, and this, because I'm not that way. I've always been told to not talk about club business, and that's how it's been for 30 some fucking years. 92, okay, prospect in 91, got my colors. I think it was 9-10 months, got my colors, almost a year, because I pounded. I'm getting my colors, a multiracial club, because in my club, we're like the few. We party with 1% clubs, all white, all Mexican, all black, and other clubs, 99 and 1%. We have a good reputation. So who leaked it in our organization, our MC? I have no idea who did that, but I guarantee it didn't come from the Mother Chapter. John did not prospect from the Mother Chapter. He was given the colors. I've never seen him on a motorcycle with my own eyeballs in person. I've only seen him on a motorcycle on the videos. When he came up with that, he was helping out. He wasn't the director. He didn't have a whole bunch of money. He didn't make the fucking Biker Boy movie. He helped out that as an advisor. When I seen the movie, because I'm all about motorcycles all my life since I've been fucking this high, I watched it. And I was astonished to see him in the motherfucking movie. Okay? So that's when I found out he was a member. But I know
what
for
about
a fact,
what Pep said the other night? I guess he specifically said BD got voted in.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
He said that, or Pep said BD got voted in.
I'm gonna tell you right. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm the youngest of. They call me OG now. I'm the youngest of the OGs. There are only about maybe like 5, 6, 7 left that are still alive. Okay, I'm the youngest of them. Okay, he did not get voted in. It was 50-50. 50 cents, 50 cents makes $1. He said straight up, he gave the cuts to him, the colors, if you will. But he lied on the voting thing. Nobody fucking wanted him in. Nobody wanted him in. Okay. Show me a picture. Show me a picture of him with a vest that with a sewn on patch that said prospect. Okay. You ain't gonna find it. You ain't gonna find it. Okay. So I did my due diligence. When you get voted in, you get voted in by all the brothers. Okay. And we had back then we had an auxiliary. Okay, the women didn't have a vote, but after the men that were patch holders voted them in, anybody in, then you presented your colors. It's party time. We have him on tape, on video that he never partied with us because
do women get a vote in Black Sabbath?
No. So
I'm just wondering. You said auxiliary. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, auxiliary is a woman.
Is that like property of?
Yeah, no, you know they take care of things for us, man. You know, we have the clubhouse. We had back in the day. We had a kitchen and all that. They prepare things. They party with us. They're good gals. All of them are good gals. I haven't came across one bad gal, but no, back in the day. So now he took those colors. He took those cuts per order of Pep. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I know this is international. It's just not nationwide. Okay. I love Pep. If he passed away a week and a half or 5 years from now, I would go to his funeral because he was one of the founding fathers. But Pep has changed, man. Okay. He has changed. And I don't want to get more into detail about talking about other club business.
Yeah, because he can't defend himself.
I'm just speaking. Yeah, right. I'm just speaking on all the shit that's already out there on the internet. Am I a fan of how it came out on the internet with the leakage, like the WikiLeaks thing? No, I'm not, because it makes us kind of look weak, and we're not weak. We're a good club. We've been around since '74. Okay, and the guys were riding like 2 years prior to that. They all worked for different companies, military, San Diego Gas and Electric, and all that. They got together on the weekends and they formed a club, which started in '74. Okay, I've been around since '92, so I know my history. But
now, what about people that would say, "Hey, do you got a picture of when you were a prospect?"
Me?
That's what. Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth. Think of it. I don't have one personally at my house in my photo album. I have pictures of me, but when I'm a prospect, I don't have a camera taking pictures of myself. So if anybody took pictures of me, I don't know anything about them. I've never seen them. Now, is there pictures of me down at the clubhouse or at other people's clubhouses, at the other clubs that we partied at? Sure. When I was a handsome looking motherfucker with all this motherfucking gray ass hair and wrinkled ass face. Yeah, sure. But no, I don't have any pictures of me with a prospect patch on. But, take the camera. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go, Hollywood. I'm gonna take you right over here real quick. I'm gonna show you the wall right over here. Okay. There's a lot of pictures. Okay. Can you see these pictures, brother?
Oh, damn.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see them.
Can you see these pictures right here? Look at all these pictures right here. That's me. That's me right there. That was like in 90.
Go closer. Damn, you ugly. You're uglier back then than you are now.
Can you see him? What do you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here I am right here. I think that's around like 90, 96, 97. John didn't get his cuts from Pep. There's Pep right there. There's Pep right there. Okay. There's my homeboy Vern, my brother. He passed away. We buried him. Okay. There's Mad Mitch. There's a lot of these other guys here. Okay. But there's pictures all over this place, bro.
Are those the original? Are those the original 7?
It's part. No. Hey, here you go. You see these pictures right here, bro? All these pictures right here. All
go
these pictures
closer.
right here. This is all history right here. Closer? Can you see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah, these are all pictures from back in the day. Okay. And honest to God. Honest to God. That close? Yeah, so honest to God. Okay. So yeah, these are all pictures of back in the day. There's my girl Rayetta back in the day right there. Okay. Yeah, we partied with all kind of clubs. This is our front of our clubhouse right there, 4280 Market Street. Okay. But no, yeah, so anyway, the whole thing of it is, but the whole thing of it is, brother, is, you know, this fucking guy, I have never I prospected 91, got my cuts. Here's my cuts right here. Here's my cuts right here, bro. Here's my cuts right here. These are real cuts. One of these motherfuckers on one of these podcasts, I don't think it was you or Big Cell, but somebody, they commented on the comments. And I'm not a computer guy, but it said something of the nature of, oh, those cuts look, I know what it was. It was when Ryder died, that the current national president got online and said that, oh, he's not part of the club and he's out bad and he don't have a protection and all that. And somebody commented and said, oh, his cuts look fake. His cuts ain't fake. My cuts ain't fake. Okay. Again, I have not brought up anything about club business because I've always been told not to do that. And that's part of our bylaws. It's part of our unwritten bylaws. But
Right.
here's another thing, brother.
Well, hold on 1 second. I kind of, I let you talk about this, about your feelings on him. But what I would like to do is turn the corner, and before the podcast ends, I want people to see Black Sabbath for what you want them to see you as, not all this craziness on the internet. Because you just
brother.
went and you showed me all these pictures and stuff, and for us older guys who grew up in the scene under Vietnam vets, this kind of stuff is huge to us. So I want everybody else to see what Black Sabbath is about.
Let me do this next. Okay, so what do you want me to get my boy George on the conversation with you, because he's a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, hold on for 1 second. I ain't gonna yell at you this time. My name's Matt.
You deserve. You got the right to. Don't worry about it. But I was just saying, I'm 50 years old. I got to come up in the scene learning under the Vietnam veterans. They were hardcore. They knew how to take life to its fullest. And how was it for you guys? I know it was shitty coming back from Vietnam the way you were treated, but starting a club in the 1970s, black and white, how was that? How was it looked upon?
Hey, check this out, right? I was in the Marine Corps first, okay, 1968 to 1974. I went to Vietnam with the Marines, killed a whole bunch of people. This is my kill necklace. These are all the teeth I took from motherfuckers that wanted to kill me. After I got out the hospital, I transferred to the Navy, and I went on my first ship. And Eli, he was my chief engineer, and he invited me to the club, 4280 Market Street, and that's how I joined. The club was actually basically a bunch of SDG&E workers and military people that came back from Vietnam, because we had to have a safe place within San Diego to lay our hair down after we got off the ships, came from the base, and that's where we found refuge. But it wasn't a black and white club. One of our members in the first group of us was Bonsai. He was Japanese. We had plenty of white guys. I mean, if it wasn't Rayetta and Katie, the mother chapter was probably going to die because of John. But it's not about John, but we've had our ups and downs. And sabotage happens in any organization. And sometimes it takes years because we're nonviolent. We love everybody. That's why we are breed apart. So it takes some time in life to remove a cancer that betrays us. And that's basically what happened.
How was the Black Sabbath accepted in 1974 being mixed race? Because I know back then it was really around racial bias.
No, but I like the way you say that, because one thing you guys don't know, the West Coast is a whole different ball game. On President's Day weekend, every year, everybody from the West Coast comes to San Diego. It's called the first run of the year, and it's sponsored by the Black Sabbath. And it's been happening for the last 50 years. We just had our 50th anniversary.
Wow. Wow. That, most clubs don't last 5 years.
That's right. That's true. That's because we have good people here. We have people who are dedicated. And, sometimes you get, like old school said, snake oil salesman. And he can convince other people of other things that really aren't true. And then when you get to monkey around with the books and you have one of the elders sponsoring you to say it's okay, and then one of us say that it ain't okay, then, people divide and people can get hurt. But we don't play that. Else we would have done what other 1%ers do to people who are defiant. We didn't do that. And I'm sorry that we're on the internet talking like this. And thank you, my brothers who spoke like old school, and hardcore has been influencing y'all. But what happened was, seriously, if you realize what goes down is sometimes the older folks get trapped in a maze of confusion.
Offset and old school.
And Offset, old school, Cool Cat. They said, we can't deal with this any longer. We need to get to the bottom of this. I walked away myself because of the threats of violence, and we even had a member killed. We don't know where it came from, but, even John called another club and said, remove Magic's patch. See, so you guys don't know how deep this shit really goes. We're here to clear it up.
As an OG who started in the 1970s, do you see a lot of wrong with the young ones coming up now? Was it that we didn't teach them right, or we didn't teach them what everything was about?
They didn't want to learn anymore. It became a gangster thing instead of brotherhood. See, when you join the Black Sabbath, everybody knew everybody's name. That was one of the rules. We have a light. You get under the light. We ask you all the questions about your family background. Do you have a property? You couldn't even join our club if you didn't have a damn job. We have a clubhouse where we used to on 4280 Market Street for 30 years. Everybody had a damn key. Go and come as you please. Beer free. Anybody was running from the police jumped up inside the rafters and hid. It was a beautiful thing. It was a sanctuary for anybody in the clubs in San Diego, Riverside, San Francisco, LA. They come down here and all they do is make a phone call, and one of us would open up the door, and it's all on us.
Man,
I like the way you do the interview, but give John too much credit. This guy's dangerous. I really want to let you know that.
No, what I do is I ask the tough questions, and I let the club put out their feelings. And I think that's the best way.
We didn't want to do that, but John made us do it. We're very personal here.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you from?
Me, I'm Chicago.
Okay. Well, it's a whole different, on this other side of the damn Rockies, it's a whole different story.
Oh, yeah, it's all different with us Midwesterners.
We never really wanted to expand either, but people bigger than me at the time wanted to go big, and big ain't always good.
You know what? A lot of these newer clubs, they want to be giants overnight, and it usually don't work out. I can tell you that.
That's true. And as long as we kept it small, it was okay. And then things changed, and so now we're trying to fix the change.
Well, one thing I would like to do, if you ever had the chance, man, not talking about bike club stuff, not talking about, this and that. I'd love to interview you about coming home from Vietnam and how that era really was for U.S. soldiers.
Well, you asked a racial question, but check this out, right? My best friend in Vietnam was from Meridian, Mississippi, named Frank Timothy Curry, right? Him and I met in Paris Island, South Carolina. We went to Vietnam together, and we served together for 11 months and 25 days.
Let Vietnam die. Y'all keep trying to keep it alive. Let it die.
Yeah.
error, bro. Let it go.
Let it die.
You never get the true answer from a soldier about that Vietnam Army. Let it go, dog.
This guy right back behind me, Trinidad.
I went into the
Special Forces. we all got a great background.
But from
No, I just, you know what? You and Trinidad on a show, no club stuff. I just want to talk about the politics back then, how you guys felt coming home.
Well, you know what?
We didn't get into that, man.
We didn't get into that,
bro. We came home. We didn't come home as heroes. We came home as people.
We came home as
people, bro.
People.
We wasn't proud of what we did, right?
And
we didn't try to show off nothing. We just came home, bro.
We just came
Glad
home.
to be home.
Glad to be home. We didn't hate nobody.
The media is what blowed it all up. Yeah. Every time
See, people need to know that. People need to know what our soldiers went through.
1978. You guys are still talking about it.
Well, look, here go a fact for you. My grandfather, I'm the third. I'm George Gilbert Clark III. I'm the third son from slavery. My grandfather got a Purple Heart in World War I. My father got a Purple Heart in World War II, buried in Arlington Cemetery. My mom is buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Okay, and then I got one in Vietnam. That's how deep this shit goes with black people. We're about being Americans. It ain't nothing about red and blue. And by the way, for all of your listeners, I'm a Republican. And all these motherfuckers don't like that, but I am. You can hear them laughing in the background. Always been a Republican. But I don't like bullshit. Trump finally got his Purple Heart. God bless him. I'm glad he didn't kill him.
I'll tell you what, Vietnam vets are special, man. They don't play around, do they, Heather? They do not screw around.
We're just people, man.
Pretend them to be fair.
We just people. You know, you got to say to yourself.
There was a bunch of scared young guys in the war. That's what they was, bro.
I was 18.
They didn't want to go in the war. They got drafted in the war. My dad. So
Were you drafted?
I was drafted 1968, July 29th. My father actually told me, he said, hey, man, I'm a senior in high school. It was the summer of 68. You know, Woodstock, all that shit, right? My dad said, hey, just go down to the draft board and get physical. They're going to send you right home. And they're going to get you when you graduate in 69. They locked the door. I'm in Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They locked the damn door, said nobody's leaving today. And one out of every 4 you swinging dicks is going in the Marine Corps. And they went 1, 2, 3, 4 Marine Corps. I said, oh, no. I plan to go in the Army. But I know I'm going to the Marine Corps. They didn't give a damn. They took me down to Paris Island under duress.
Oh, yeah, I got one. I got one last question for you, and this is a must know. When you were over in Vietnam, did they have the best weed over there or not?
Oh man, everybody asked that, but check this shit out. Really, seriously, people play about that, but nobody got high with me. Nobody ever got fucking high because it was a war. I hear people say that too. People went out into the jungle high. I don't know how they could do that. Not anybody got high when they got back to camp, but they didn't get high out in the field. Never. Because you're going to die, man. You got to hear. You got to smell. You got to think. You got to know if your gun is on semi-automatic, automatic, or off. Yeah. But my best friend, his father was the head of the Mississippi Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
And we became best friends. His daughter right now is, Curry has passed, but his daughter is my best friend. We made a pact like people do in war. If you go before I do, take care of my family. And that's just what I'm doing now.
Man, well, I really appreciate you guys coming on, giving your side of the story. I'm telling you, I want to interview you for that time period, man. I really do.
Hey, you want to take my number? I'll give it to you.
Yeah, give it. Yeah, if you can text it to me, not over the air. Me and you can. I just like to have a good
339-619-2529. You call me, put a message in, say Hollywood, I'll call you back. Tell you anything.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I just want to, you know what, kids need to know their history, and a lot of people don't know more.
Man, look, this is a great country. We're great people. We hate nobody. All we want is equal for everybody that lives here. Everybody be successful. It's Hollywood. Hey, Mitch wants to talk to you again.
Hey, come on. Come on.
Mitch was also Navy 20 years or more, and then a merchant marine after that.
This guy's my
Oh,
hero.
Merchant Marine. Holy cow.
Oh, absolutely.
Navy and Merchant Marine, 20 and 20. 20 years
Wow.
and 20. How you doing, man?
Good. What ship did you serve on?
Oh, a whole bunch of them, man. Even Canberra, I don't remember all that shit, but and the merchant, when I went to the merchants. So,
George, hey, having a good time.
yeah, anyway.
How was the Merchant Marines? You know, a lot of people don't know what Merchant Marines were.
No. I was with, who are you with? SIU? Who was you with?
What's that?
Who was you with? I was with MSC.
No, I was asking you, what was it like being a Merchant Marine?
Yeah, and I thought you said you were one also. So
No, I was just saying a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what a Merchant Marine was.
Oh well, we're civilian merchants, civilian who ride ships. Whatever the job is on the ship is what we take. If it's AT&T, whatever, hospital care, that's where we go. It's a good job. It's
Good job. How did you like the Navy? Were you on aircraft carriers or destroyers?
I was on pretty much anything, but the Navy was okay, but it wasn't nothing like the merchants. Nothing like the merchants.
Nothing like the merchants, huh?
Oh no, that's a good thing.
So if you had it to do all over again, would you want to sail again?
Nope.
Did you have to take what? Did you have to take one of them pills so you didn't get those nauseous and stuff?
No. I was cool. But I'm done with it.
You all done with it, huh?
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Well, you know, it was great having you. It was great having you guys and on and hearing about everything. Love that you guys got your side of the story out. Hopefully everything goes better for you guys. And I'm going to be talking to some of your Vietnam guys. I interview you too, man. We'll get you into a studio. That way we can talk to you about all the past. And, you know, I just think I'd eat it up because I'm a history buff.
That's all possible. That's all possible. In the meantime, just know that we like being a breed apart.
Rock on. Rock on. Awesome, guys. Well, I'll catch you all later. And that was Black Sabbath. MC sets the record straight on their behalf. Like I always said, clubs are more than welcome to come on if they feel the need to try to clear something up. But hopefully you all enjoyed it. It's coming on 3 hours. And again, this will be available on replay. Whatever you take out of it, it's what you take out of it. We just put it out there for you to eat it up, I guess. Anyway, we're out of here. We'll be on tomorrow morning with China Doll. We're going to be talking about the assassination attempt. Everybody knows about that. Rock on.
Yeah.